strike the reactor and start a chain reaction which...
Boom. There we are. Too funny. Hello and welcome out to this week's episode of the Gamers Council. Hargeet, I didn't screw up as bad this time as I did last week. Jeez. At least I got the name of the show right. Anyway. Just kidding. Oh, my goodness. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Windows is a funny thing. Sometimes it updates. Sometimes it costs you more money. But that's okay. We'll get into that tonight, too. So yeah. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, WebDave, along with my co-host, the mighty one, the only, Hargeet Chani. Hargeet, Johnny, please. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I just finished up South of Midnight, finished up Assassin's Creed Shadows. I got to figure out which one I'm going to go into next, but there's a couple of games leaving Game Pass. I'll probably try to get to those before I start something else. Maybe Expeditions. Everybody seems to be talking about Expedition 33. Maybe I'll do that one. But I have so many other games I still have to play, so we'll see.
I know. I'm right there with you. Well, we got a loaded panel tonight. We have a returning guest. We have a new guest, and it's going to be a good one tonight. We have the one and only, the legend himself, KMEGA. K, how you doing, sir?
Listen to you, man. Listen to you. Appreciate it. Retired legend, I would say. You know what I'm saying? I have my own statue built behind me. That's a bit. So anyway, but thank you.
I pulled you back in tonight, didn't I?
You did, and I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, man. I sometimes when I do this stuff, I do forget how much I really miss doing it. I know I do my thoughts occasionally or whatever, but I know that there's people that's been asking me to bring GRG back, and I'm like, I'm not one of those type of people that if I say I'm done with something, I'm going to bring it back. I'm not, but I do love doing podcasts. I do love talking about it, having the discourse debate if need be, but it is good to do it. It's refreshing. I really do appreciate the invite, man. So thank you so much, man. And I seen that Richilli is in the building. What's going on? He asked if anybody beat South of Midnight. I know Hargeet just said that he did it. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Hargeet. And I beat it as well. I beat South of Midnight as well. And yes, you should definitely play Expedition 33. That's what I'm on right now. It is what's kept me away from Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is a game that I've been touting and bragging about from the beginning and love for what I played. But Expedition 33 is something special. But I know that we'll be talking about that going forward.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good one. And again, thank you for being here. And of course, I'll just tell you this right now in front of everybody: you have an open invitation. Anytime you feel like you want to get something off your chest, you want a place to talk about it, you please hit me up. We're more than welcome to have you on anytime, sir. And
Appreciate
of
it,
course,
bro.
we have new to the show, but actually a well and prominent member of the community who's been doing a fantastic job with Red Wolf. Oh yeah. And of course, Holly, who's in the chat, that blue number. That's right. We have the one and only DamarcoDude. What's up, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Hey, well, thank you for having me. It's been a long time coming. I know that we had talked about, we were just saying before the show, like we've been talked about this ages ago and it just, timing didn't work out, but super glad to be on.
Yeah.
It's great, Hargeet. Pleasure to get to speak with you. We spoke before, but it's great to get to talk to you again. And KMEGA, great to get to meet you. So excited. There's so
Indeed.
many cool things going on right now in the industry, both good and bad. I know we're going to dive into all of it, but like, honestly, all in all, it's one of those things that just really sort of grounds you and you realize why there's so much passion. Like there's a lot of people yelling. There's also a lot of people celebrating great games like Expedition 33, which I too have been absolutely hooked on. So it's one of those things that you just go, yeah, listen, gaming, it's a fantastic hobby. I'm glad to be part of it. I'm glad to be part of the communities that it builds. And I'm glad to be here on the show tonight. So thank you.
Well, again, we're going to have fun tonight and getting into it. It's going to be good. Hargeet, we do have a couple of housekeeping things to do right off the bat. Excuse me.
Sure. So we got Adidas 20 joining up for 19 months. Nice. Thanks.
Thank you, Adidas 20.
And then WebDave gifts 5 memberships. And they go to Christopher Roble, Chuck Finley, Let's Go Ozzy, Mershot, and Be Nice. Congratulations, folks.
There you go. There you go. That's
Good.
right. And of course, if you want a membership yourself, it's we do it as low as $1. That's it, $1, and gives you access to all the emojis we have, which we rotate them around. We got some new ones and some updated ones. We got an updated Hargeet one now tonight too, as well. It's kind of cool. Let's go ahead and start. We got a poll up. I'm gonna throw that up in the background there. So the poll is Xbox in trouble with new price? We'll get into that a little later on, but we'll let you start weighing in here in the chat. If you got questions, of course, you can throw them in there as well, and we do accept super chats, so we'll definitely get to those as soon as possible. But we'll see what happens. But that's not necessarily how the you don't have to super chat. You can just ask a question in the chat, and we'll try and get to it. But yeah, so Hargeet, we have a list of topics and things to go over. Well, what would you like to start?
So
with
let's
tonight?
first
Would you want to update the community?
Let's talk about the showcase. So
let's do it.
It's live. I'm going to post the site, but essentially. Since Xbox usually they have a showcase FanFest event where when the June showcase happens, they invite fans to come in and watch together, and they decided to not do that this year. So we decided as a community we're just going to put it together ourselves, and so we've got the setup going. It is a raffle for entry. It's free to you guys. We are covering the cost ourselves. So we will have a community fan fest. It will have activities afterwards. There's going to be like food and drink. There's all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah, we're going to watch the June showcase together. And then, we'll have some fan events afterwards with raffles and giveaways and stuff like that, as much as we can try to pull off. So we are definitely going to have this put together for you. To enter, go to the website. We put the site in the chat there. Enter the raffle. We will pick, randomly from that list. It's U.S. only. So unfortunately for this time, next time we'll try to get it back, to be more expanded if we continue to do this. But for now, it's a U.S. only thing, and it will be in L.A. So if you can make it out there, that's on you guys. Make it out there and attend Sunday, the 8th. We will have a fan watch party. So, if you are interested, enter the raffle and see if we can get you in.
Yeah, for sure. And Hargeet, just to touch base with them, it's a great picture from last year's event. Fantastic. But there is there's an easy click on button right there to link. Do we know what the cap is overall as to how many people it's going to hold, or do you know?
Yeah, the facility is a couple hundred, so it's like 200-ish people. We also have to keep in mind there's us. There's going to be special guests. We have to cover them. There's going to be some creators, like content creators that are going to go. So we have some reserved for that, but then the rest is just for fans. We are trying to get, at least, the majority will be fans, but it's not going to be as big as previous events. Sorry. It's mostly because we just didn't have time to get a bigger facility. Everything is booked, right? And they told us this now, and it's like, well, last minute scramble. We just tried to do what we could. We have as much as we have. We'd love to offer more. Maybe next year it will be bigger if we continue this pattern. But for now, this is what we've got. So enter and see if you can get in. It is a raffle. We're just going to random pick. So.
Yep. So, and winners will be notified by email on May the 16th. So that's coming up. And gosh, I'm going to do math real quick. Coming up in like 12 days. So
a couple of weeks.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah. So we're going to probably have a couple of rounds. We're probably going to notify people earlier. And then, you probably need to enter. I think we should probably put that on the site. You should probably enter by the end of this week. And I think we'll probably put that on the site. So enter by the end of this week on Friday. That'll probably be the deadline. So we'll update the site by the end of the week, by Friday midnight. That'll be the deadline. And then we'll start picking. And then, unfortunately, usually what happens is even if you get picked, sometimes people enter and they don't really have the ability to make it out there. So they might rescind it. Right. And then we have to take that back and then create some, give it to somebody else. So we'll have that week to sort of make that happen. But that is kind of the deal. So I'll put that in the FAQ. We should have that in there.
Cool thing.
If you don't think you can enter, then I wouldn't try, unless you definitely have a way to get there. So that would be my advice. Yeah, it's exciting. I know I'm going to be there, and I'm excited for this. And I am one of the ones that are grateful. And look who's in that picture right there. I mean, look at it. There's Hargeet, there's Holly, there's Fonz. Oh my gosh, look at Cold Eastwood. Okay, oh my goodness,
John Clark,
Mr. Boomstick.
There's Dante. I don't know. The one next to me, on Holly is one side. I don't know if you noticed. The other person there is what's his name? Yodani Kazada. That's Yodani, and then next to him is Cog, right? So you got Yodani. That's Asante behind them, right? So.
Yep. I mean, it's Shaun Labrie and it's amazing members of the community. It's awesome. And look at this Xbox guy right there in the back. Jason Ronald. Yeah, like that. Yeah,
the maker of the new Xbox that's coming out. So
that's right. That's right. That is still coming out. So,
that's we're still getting a new Xbox.
Interesting little update.
Shout out to you guys for doing that. That is amazing, Hargeet. That is beautiful stuff. As somebody who's been to 2 to 3 of these, I can't tell you how special that they are. They do bring in a different element of just unity, just love of gaming, dedication. Because one thing that people don't really realize is that, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of content creators of some sort out here in the world. But when you get into this, into whatever genre that you love and you like, and you meet other content creators or just meet other fans of whatever it is, that's why E3 to me was so special. When you absorb that and you realize that not everybody, takes in the online narratives of hate this, hate that, and everybody's just in there for the same reasons, for the love of gaming or for the love of whatever. It is something special. And then, of course, with the networking, with everything else that's involved into it, man. Yeah, Hargeet, that's amazing. For you and whoever else that's a part of it, Web, if you are, man, kudos to you guys. This is the type of stuff that we need all the time, and you guys need to be up front and center to be put into a category of this is what gaming is all about. Yeah. That's from the bottom of my heart with that. Not because I'm on this podcast, but if I was just watching this and I seen this, I would have posted that. That is some solid shit. That's great.
Yeah.
It
Well,
really
we'll
is.
go over real quick who some of the amazing people that are on here. Argy, I'll let you read off their names as we scroll through.
Sure. So Alex has been doing a lot. Alex Wagerman, he's in that picture, by the way. He's been doing a lot of legwork. He's out in LA. Thanks to him to getting like the facility locked down. We're still working on some of the other pieces, and he's doing a lot of that. Ben is kind of one of the ones spearheading this. So Ben Kenobi, and if you remember, he's been doing the coins that everybody seems to like the little coins that he makes for these things. So we're gonna have one again for FanFest. We're gonna have that again, and we're gonna have swag. By the way, there's gonna be stuff that we will give away as part of this. You'll get some swag with it for everybody, and then there'll be raffles and giveaways. And then Ains has been a part of this as well. He's been setting up the raffle site and all that. So along with me. And then below that is I think it's Shaun is next. I don't think you've yeah. Can you scroll down a bit more? Yep. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Shaun. Okay. And Dante, they've been kind of working in the background as well, along with us. And then there's me. And this website was me. I've been trying to schedule things and make sure we're all on track getting things done. So, yeah. So, yeah.
No, I mean,
it's awesome.
As me being a part of FanFest, I only been in FanFest once, and it was enough to make me understand how special that was. Just because, listen, I'm a gamer. I'm a fan of all gaming. I am. I mean, I'm more of an Xbox guy. Everybody knows that about me if you follow me. But the way that I've seen for the times that I've been at E3, how the PlayStation community how Sony treated their community compared to how Xbox has treated their community, it is night and day. It is absolutely night and day. Yeah. And I think that Nintendo, even though they don't do anything as elaborate as what Xbox or Sony does, Nintendo treats their fan base really well as well. But FanFest is something just different. And man, I'm just like, I didn't know who all was, because this is my first time ever just hearing this. That's why I'm so astounded by it. And for everybody that's being a part of it, man, kudos to you guys, because I hate that Microsoft is making these moves, these cuts or whatever that they're doing. But I'm glad that the community is coming together, and it's like, look, there is a unity, a bond amongst this group of gamers that wants to continue this, and it's special. That's special. I'm telling you, it is nothing like it as a gamer to go into a room of other adult gamers, other gaming nerds, and just absorb all the information that you can from people that work on these products or people who are content creators to just absolute fans. It is a beautiful thing. It's something that everyone that is listening, that will listen, has to experience at least once, in my opinion.
Yeah, dude, especially for someone like myself, I've never had the opportunity to go to E3. I'm younger. At the time, I couldn't afford it. Now it's gone forever. Summer Games Fest was always something I thought about, but timing often didn't work out. But this is such a cool opportunity to especially. Okay, you touched on it before. Like, you go on the internet and algorithms are designed to be provocative, right? And so, yes. And I saw something today, like 80%, or it goes up to as high as 80% of things are just AI, like whether it's replies or views or comments. It's insane. And those also are intended to be like provocative. So when you have something that brings together that human element behind all of it, and you go, wait, there's actually real people, and there's some really incredible people. Hargeet, Dave, Kay, Colt, Holly, Red, whoever, phenomenal folks behind it. It's super important to bring that human element back into gaming when it feels like it becomes increasingly more online every year, and it spreads apart. But this is how it all comes together, and it's beautiful. Yeah. It's so beautiful.
It is pretty awesome, I'll have to say. And got a couple of quick super chats to get to.
And that's why I was laughing while KMEGA, you were talking, was that came in. I don't know if you know the inside joke here, but WEBDAVE was talking about Epic Treasure reading Bram Stoker's Dracula, and instead he called it Bram Stoker.
Oh, yeah. Pause, Dave.
So anyway, where's Bram Stoker in that picture? Well, yeah. So WebDave wasn't there that year. He will be here. He'll be coming along this year. So we will probably have pictures of him. Right? I'm sure we'll have many pictures.
Oh yeah.
For this year's E3, whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah. So that's that one.
Yeah.
Move on to the next one. Okay, so we got Lord. Oops. Lord Specular. Yep, gifts 5 WebDave memberships. Thanks so much, man. And then they went to Elijah Vasquez, Iconic Video Games, Lord Roughness, Nissa Hauer, and Pranksta86. Congrats, folks. And then we get our friend FarQ. Renews his membership.
FarQ, look at the camera, FarQ. Look at the screen right there. You ready? Ready, FarQ? FarQ. I mean, I love you, FarQ. You're the best. Right.
But there you go.
There you go. No, we love FarQ. He is quite talented. And speaking of his talents, KMEGA, the last time you were on, FarQ decided to bless us with one of his renditions.
Yes,
DamarcoDude,
he did. That was
I'll just
great.
kind of show you what FarQ is capable of. And this is some of the work that he puts out.
Love it.
Yeah. Can you recognize
And he gave me
those guys?
hair. That made me feel real good too. He gave me hair. So I love it.
Yeah, he did.
I love it.
He did. I love it. And welcome to the over 165 people that are joining us here today through whether it's X, YouTube, or even one person watching us on Twitch. We appreciate that. Also, some more of his wares we got to say, since it is May the 4th, Star Wars Day. We got to show off this one of that blue number. Holly, Jedi Ray. We love that one. Yeah, it's actually really awesome looking photo. Just got to say. So because we all know that Holly is a badass. There you go, swinging her lightsaber. I'm just jealous because it's bigger than mine. What? What? Just kidding. All righty,
we better get to these topics, man, because I don't know where this is going to veer. I'm trying to build up.
That was the worst possible time to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a drink now."
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and you see
what's my first impression on WebDave's show? Me going with water in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, good times, good time. Hey Holly, how you doing? She's in the chat going, "What the hell is going on?" I'm on the screen. Yes, you are. All right. So Hargeet, where would you like to start tonight? And I got some things to go along with it. We have a whole bunch of things we can go to tonight. We might not even get to all of them. Who knows? There's so many. So you let me know where you would like to start, and we'll go from there.
Well, let's just do GTA 6 delay because that should be hopefully small. I don't know if that's a huge topic, but let's just do that one.
Yeah, we can knock that out. Sounds good. And of course, that's probably the only thing I don't have anything on. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll let you get your thoughts first, and then we'll go around the horn.
All right. So, okay, I can start. I guess like GTA 6 being delayed is not surprising. We have not heard anything this year so far about the release that was supposed to happen in 2025. By this time, we should have heard something, right? And nothing. So it was kind of obvious this was getting delayed. Who's shocked by this? And May 26th is what they're saying, so that'll be about a year from now, next May. But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if that moves as well. Whatever. It's it does. Why that date is because that's Memorial here in the U.S. Memorial Day, and that weekend. So this is the Tuesday right afterwards, which just tells you they're going to have the Super Duper Deluxe Edition, which is going to have the early access for the Friday before, so you will get enticed to have the long weekend to play, GTA 6. So you can just kind of expect that that's why they're doing that. Otherwise, it would have been better to say 6/26/26, right? They did not do that. They did 5/26/26. So, and that would be the reason because it's the day right after Memorial Day.
The Elder Scrolls 6's release date, the 6/6.
Yeah, 6/26. 6/2/6.
I hope not.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows, right? Who knows? It could happen, but I don't think so. I think that's still further out, but we will see. But anyway, so I was not surprised by this. it opens up the fall now. Nobody has to worry about like, the big devastation that's going to happen in the fall. It's now going to happen in May. So people need to avoid that next year. But either way, this is not surprising. The only thing that's going to be surprising is whether they decide to stick at 70. If they do that, that would be ultra surprising, because I think they're now going to at least be $80, if not more. So we will see what happens there. But outside of that, the delay is not shocking to me at all. This is Rockstar. That's what they do. So, DeMarco, your thoughts?
You summed how like, oh my gosh, Grand Theft Auto was delayed. Whoa. Okay. Anyway, like, I don't know. It's not surprising. It's not. And I did see a thing that I haven't seen too many people talk about online. I don't know the validity behind it. It was one of those things that come up on Twitter and you go, all right, cool. Where they said the devs internally had been saying for a while, they go, yeah, this game ain't coming out this year. It's not happening. So I don't know. I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, the dev said it's not ready. Hit the alarm bell. Everybody panic and scream. GTA is going to be a buggy mess. It's going to be the next Cyberpunk, right? I never am one to do that, but it's what do you say about this? They're getting more time. I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, they're doing it so they can have the PC release on the same day. Probably not. They've never done that. There's no reason for Grand Theft Auto 6 to do it now. The game will, plenty of people are going to kind of double dip right there, and Rockstar is going to be sitting there with their 2 whatever priced editions that come out. But delay is cool. Gives me time to get through Oblivion Remastered, Expedition 33, South of Midnight. I haven't started. I want to try a little bit more Towerborn. There's just Doom the Dark Ages is coming out. I didn't need Grand Theft Auto on top of all of that, to be brutally honest. So, hey, now I'll get to take care of it next year when there's tons of other things I'll be able to add to my backlog as well.
I heard that. KMEGA. Sir, what are your thoughts on this delay?
I am going to disagree with because I've seen Hargeet agree with my man DeMarco, and I'm not saying that you could be right and I could be wrong, but I feel that this game is going to be out on everything day one, just because of the fact that they were slating that this game was going to be coming out a year later than what this game was going to be coming out because it was supposed to be coming out this year. It would be one of those things where you would piss off PC gamers. And again, it's Grand Theft Auto. It's not really going to matter at the end of the day. They can do whatever Take-Two can do whatever they want to. But if you've already given an indication that the one reason why it's going to come later, but this game is only just going to need a little bit more polish, it's not like it's a substantial something that needs to be done substantially, then I think that it's going to be released on everything. And this could also give them a reason to where they can raise the price on this game. That's one reason why they probably delayed it as well. I think the game will need some work coming on consoles, and it might even be a launch title for Xbox. We'll see if Xbox is going to drop their new console in next year. We'll see. I don't know. But there's a lot of I don't know and what ifs. But I just don't think that that PC gamers will still have to wait another year after they delayed the game for another year. You see what I'm saying? So if they will delay it, it won't be for another year. It might be until the end of the year of 2026. So I don't know. That's just my initial thoughts on that. I mean, I would love to debate that because I just don't. When you give an initial impression that, well, we put more emphasis on the consoles, that's fine. Totally understand. And we all know that the gamers in this space is going to double dip on this game regardless. So they are going to buy this game multiple times for whatever reason. So Grand Theft Auto is going to rake. I think there's 2 factors to it. for them to actually raise the price compared to what they would have probably gave the price to the consumers this year. To next year, you got no excuse. Oh, it's everything else. It's the tariffs. It's everything else. $80 for a standard game and more. And it will be available on PC. So the PC gamers won't bitch, moan, and complain and say, so you expect me to wait a year and have to pay $80 for a game? I don't see PC gamers going out there on the fly and saying that's okay. Console gamers, yes, because it's Grand Theft Auto. I understand that there'll be some PC gamers that will say, okay, that's fine, but not all. So I think that it's going to be released on everything in 2026, maybe not day and date, but in 2026, in my opinion. What you think?
We did complain about
possibility.
it. PC game, as someone, I primarily play on PC. I have a PlayStation 5. I didn't get into the Xbox console this generation because I spent on my PC. But we did complain about when GTA 5 did the same thing and Red Dead did the same thing. We did complain, but at the same time, it's something that Rockstar historically has done. They know they can do it, and so they continue to. The only thing I will say in sort of a rebuttal to that is, honestly, that is the type of thing I think really benefits these games, specifically because when they're developing for console hardware, right, they know what the specs that they're working within. Otherwise, you'll see something like a lot of people are having issues with Oblivion Remastered because the performance on PC, you could have really low-end hardware or lower end, and the game's running great, and then I'm sitting here with a 4080, and I can't play the game without having stutters and micro stutters all over the place. So honestly, for something like Grand Theft Auto and the polish that I think a lot of people are used to with Rockstar, not obviously those games come out pretty buggy, but you know, as far as the scale of the game, I think relatively speaking, they are polished for the size that these games are. Having it wait on PC, I think a lot of players are probably more okay with. We'll go, all right, it sucks, but all right, fine. You know.
So you're saying PC gamers will be fine waiting a year after the game's being delayed for another year?
No, we'll grumble and complain and we'll mope and whine about it, but we'll just say at the end of the day, we'll go, all right, fine, and we'll buy it in a year.
and buy it at $80.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. All right. I don't know. Okay. I guess I'm putting too much faith in the PC Nation on this one. I don't know. What you think, Hargeet? You think I'm wrong on this one?
I just, knowing the level of hubris that company has, because they're the only ones who do this outside of exclusives, right? Like, I just don't see why they wouldn't just put their game, because even Take-Two, all their games come out on PC day and date, except for this. And so that's really just Rockstar's hubris that they want to do this, and it's because they want you to double dip. But double dip. I don't quite understand why that needs to be that way, except for the double dip. But they also make so much. Like, does it really matter? Do you really have to piss off a fan base? Right? You know you're putting it there. It's gonna happen when we know it's coming to PC, right? It's not like we're never gonna do it. It's absolutely coming to PC. It's just you're just gonna make them wait for what? Like, I understand if there was some exclusivity thing where you were getting paid to do it, or you are owned by somebody, fine. But this is a third party. There's just zero reason to lock this down at all. It should be everywhere. But I just know they're just gonna do it. So even though it's coming out in May, I don't believe they're gonna put the PC version out. I think they're still gonna wait. And if it's May, it's coming out. If it's May, it's a year later at least. Next May 27 or something like that. That would be my guess. That's what they're gonna do. Or they'll wait for even later and be like the fall of 27 when they re-release it in a complete edition or something.
Wow, that
PC version.
That would be nuts.
They will do that kind of thing. They are like that, which is just it's sad. I don't like it, but they're like that. You know, Lord Roughness, 5 pounds, wasn't shocked about the GTA 6 delay. Kept seeing the Mind's Eye trailer and thought that's too close looking to a GTA game coming out the same year. I guess. I mean, GTA is GTA though. The name itself will just sell
it will. Yeah, it'll sell like hotcakes, no doubt.
Yeah. So There is like, Magna put, they will triple dip with a Switch 2 version. It may actually be that the Switch 2 version will come out at the same time. That is more likely, right? They might put it out on Nintendo at the same time.
That would peeve me. If you want me as an angry PC gamer,
listen to it. Listen to it. Listen, you got all consoles getting this game first after it's being delayed, which most people that pay attention to this stuff knows that this game was going to be delayed in some way, shape, or form, right? But you put this game on lesser hardware than what the PlayStation and Xbox is providing. And let's just say if Xbox is dropping their new console next year and that will be a part of their launch lineup, and PC gamers still gotta wait, and then you're still asking for $80 for that? Come on now. Stop it. There's some level to this to where I think that the power of Take-Two with GTA, the power of GTA, forget about the company that makes it, but GTA will have to wane a little bit to where they're like, hold up, I am not getting this on lesser hardware when I know that the rig that I have is much more substantial than. You're talking to people who's got I don't know what the criteria between a 3090 is. I think maybe a 3090 is a much more substantial gaming platform than it is the current consoles now. Maybe, I have no idea, right, on that. But I know if you got the 40 and the 50 series, and then whatever you have with the higher end AMDs, that's going to peeve off a lot of PC gamers, in my opinion, who spent the money for them to say, look, I want the best of the best, the creme de la creme, and you're still telling me that I have to wait after showing my loyalty to the PC Master Race. I don't know, man. I think that might taint a lot of people's emotions a little bit on the PC realm. I could be wrong, but I just feel that way. I mean, since I've been playing a lot more, I've been playing a lot more Xbox and PC gaming here lately, and listening to what a lot of the PC community says. They are just on a different level right now compared to especially how NVIDIA has been treated now for what they've been doing with their deception. AMD has been received a lot better. Intel's been received a little bit better, things of that nature. A lot of PC gamers, it's like, hold up, we spend this money, we show our dedication, we deserve better. I don't know if they would just randomly just say, just for this one particular game, that I'm all for this.
Well, you see what Paris's answer is, and he's right.
Oh, what did Paris say?
See, companies don't care.
Well, no, companies don't care. I'm talking about the public. We don't listen. Hold up. The companies themselves, we already know they don't care, but we're talking about the public. The public will let the companies know if they care or not. And I understand that Grand Theft Auto is a different beast, but if there's any group out of the gaming sector, out of consoles, and then you got mobile, and then you now have PC gamers. PC gamers are the most vocal, and I mean they screamed about Helldivers, right? And you've seen what happened with that. So that's what I'm trying to. That's my only point with that. Now I could be totally wrong, and I'll eat the crow. But I just feel that if you you said that this game need to be delayed for a year, and now you're saying that this game still need to be delayed for another year. No, I just don't see that. Delayed later in 2026. Understandable, but not to 2027.
Oh wow!
You gotta read that one. You gotta read that one.
Ray will dunk a basketball before you see GTA 6 stand on PC.
That's fine, but I'm saying that the game will come. I'm saying that I do not see that game will be delayed until 2027. I just don't, without some kind of effect from PC gamers.
You can't delay.
And I stand on that. I don't care about Ray not dunking or whatever. I'm just saying that if you want to have this debate about it, Paris, bring your ass on. I mean, I'm just saying, but I don't want to. I don't want to see. I don't want to hear people saying that PC gamers or gamers in general is not going to get to a point or effect of saying, look, enough is enough. And I feel that gamers will be at that point. We have other topics that we will have to discuss, and I'm going to be very adamant about it, but we'll see. I mean, you know, saying, like I said, if I'm wrong, I'll eat the crow, but I just feel a little bit different about it.
Red Dead Redemption was
Bring it,
delayed.
Paris. Come on. Bring your ass
Red
on.
Dead Redemption was delayed twice, and they still had a later release for PC.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me do this real quick. All right, so hold up. I Paris, I'm gonna send you a link here in just a second. I got one thing I gotta do real quick.
I already sent
Oh,
it.
did you? Okay, good. So FarQ didn't want to leave DeMarco out. So
Oh god.
he so there's DeMarco in the as the king from the new remake for Oblivion.
Let
Excellent.
me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. And the stars were right, and this is the day Aris joined the show.
I love it. I love it. Shout out to. So wait for.
I thought this was going to be a short one, but
Guess not. Let's go.
There you
Let's talk
go.
about it.
There you go. And we got this from Pila.
Pila, member for 4 months.
What?
Don't think I'm just going to be in the chats and not do, in the chat, sorry, and not do what I do. Play my theme song. You already know why I'm here. Xbox butter. All right. Well, whatever. Do we have his theme song somehow available?
Oh yeah, here we go.
If you like this video, please hit the like button.
That's the one I got.
Here we go.
Alrighty.
Let's go.
Welcome, Mr. Paris Lilly.
Hey, good evening. How you doing?
Hey.
Doing great. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me. Hey, you called me out.
Always.
I had to, because I'm like, listen, I don't even know who Ray is, but let's go ahead and let's get into this conversation. I want to hear your point of view on this, brother.
First and foremost, Ray. I have played Halo 3, sir. Matter of fact, Bill Gates handed me a copy of Halo 3 at the launch of Bellevue, Washington. Go look it up. But to answer your question, that game is not coming to PC in 2026. I'm just letting you know that right now. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you got to understand this. Grand Theft Auto is one of those IPs that transcends anything else that you see in the industry. So they know they can put it out on console. Everybody gonna run out and go back. And I'm saying this as someone who is completely guilty of this. They'll put it out on the console. Don't forget, we're probably going to get next gen in 2027 as well, maybe 2028. So you're going to put it out on PlayStation and Xbox and most likely potentially Switch 2. We'll see. They're going to wait at least a calendar year before they put it on PC because they know you will have FOMO. If you really want to play Grand Theft Auto 6, you won't wait. You will go buy it. And then it'll come out on PC with this GTA Online and all this cool stuff, and they'll have that, and potentially the next gen console stuff will come out. They have some upgrade for that, and then they're going to put it out again, and dummies like me are going to go buy it again. That's what's going to happen because they just did it with 5. So why wouldn't they do it with 6? They don't, because again, just to be clear, they don't care what the public says. You could complain just like right now. We complaining about $80 games and Switch 2s and price increases and all that, and everybody's still going to sold out.
No,
it doesn't matter.
I mean, well, hold on. Now, see that's where I got to push back. No, I am not. I had a problem with $70 games, and I do
Me
not.
too.
And I have do.
Me too.
But how many $70 games have you bought? I have not bought a $70 game.
Well, it is not fair to include me in this because I review a lot of games. So don't forget this.
Oh, now
He gets a lot of free
let's
games.
be real. So that's what I'm saying. I understand your point, right? Like, and that's what I'm saying. I'll be glad to eat the crow if I'm wrong on this, but I just feel after they said, well, the PC version won't come out until 2026, and I understand GTA is a different animal. It definitely is. And it still will generate. There will be people that will still buy it even after this. But I do think that there will be a lot of grumbles out there to be like, hold up. You just said that this game will be ready in 2026 for PC. I don't care about consoles. I'm a PC gamer. Why is this game not releasing on the same date? I didn't initiate to say that this game is coming out day and date. I just said in the same year as in the same year. And you saying that it's not going to happen, I understand. But what if Xbox do decide to want to bring out their console next year? Because I mean, the way that we see how Xbox is rolling right now with the series consoles now, it would behoove them to try to bring out their new console as early as possible before PlayStation drops theirs.
Well,
that all of that is irrelevant, and I'm not saying that disrespectfully. I'm just
no. I got you. Yeah.
I'm telling you. I shouldn't even say I'm telling you. What the hell do I know? I don't know anything. But
we're having a discussion. That's all. That's what it is. I'm not saying anything. Yeah.
I'm going by the past, so I'm looking at history and trends, right?
Okay.
To your point about grumblings in the public and all of that, Rockstar don't care. Take-Two don't care. You can grumble all you want. They're still going to charge you $90 or $100 for the thing, and it's still going to make record sales. It just is. So someone on PC complaining that they can't play at the same time that someone on Xbox or PlayStation can play it, their response internally, they won't say this publicly, but their response internally, go buy it on Xbox then. That's what they're going to say, because that's what you'll do. You will go buy, if you really want to go play Grand Theft Auto 6, you will go buy it on console and play it in 2026, because their marketing speak will be, well, Rockstar development team, we need more time to optimize it on PC, and we want to make sure we give you the best experience on PC. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to release it in 2026. So hopefully we'll be able to get it out in spring of 2027. That's what they're going to say. And then and what can you say then?
Well, then, I mean, people can say you're still going to charge us $80 for a game that you had to get right.
Yes.
After you said you was going to get it. No,
And you'll buy it.
Hold on. My case in point on this, my pushback on this is just because how PlayStation operate. Because PlayStation has done this type of thing, right? But
they're irrelevant in this conversation, respectfully. Well, PlayStation and Xbox has nothing to do with what Rockstar does.
No. You're right. But what I'm saying is that there is a point to where people have a line. And listen, these companies have been habitual line steppers, and there's going to be a point, and I think this point is getting very close to where you have got over the line too many damn times for me to keep saying, okay. Grand Theft Auto might be the exception. You could be absolutely right, Paris, but the reality of it is that when people's wallets are hurting, the reality is, and then when gamers is just wanting to try to get a release, just trying to get away from just the realities of what's going on with the economy and things like that, we both know it is going to come to a head to where these companies is going to have to hear gamers at some point. I don't know if it will be Grand Theft Auto, but I do feel that if you just tell gamers, well, that same type of BS type of line, I think the gamers is kind of going to address this as like, listen, we've heard this. We've heard you cry wolf enough. I'm not paying $80 for a game that's already delayed, that's already that other gamers are playing for. And I paid so much money for these high-end PCs, for these GPUs and things of that nature, for them to come and say, I got to still pay more for waiting. I just don't. I'm not feeling it. I'm really not feeling it.
And I hear you, and I agree with you that that's how it should be. I'm just telling you, it's not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. They're going to. Let me say the last thing, and I'll be quiet. I promise.
Yeah, you're good.
They have already set a historical precedent with Grand Theft Auto that they do not release on PC at the same time, and financially, revenue-wise, it works for them because, like I said, you get a lot of people that will buy it on console because they got to play it when it first comes out, and then they want the ultimate experience on PC because they bought their 5090 or whatever. They go buy it again. And guess what? Just like Nintendo, they don't lower prices. It's going to stay at $80 or 90 or whatever it's going to be. And to the last point, you're already seeing this precedent of what you're talking about with the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World at $80. Pre-order selling out or globally. So we can complain all we want, but people are still prioritizing the things that they want. and they're spending the money regardless. Now, I think, and you know, I'll be quiet because that goes into a whole other thing. But just to your point about Grand Theft Auto 6, well, I know you want to jump in, and I'll talk forever, so I'll be quiet.
Well, no. I just wanted to push back on that. I think that
hold up.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. I just wanted to make one last point, and then I was done. But go ahead. Okay,
I'll let you. I promise. I'll let you.
Right.
I'll let you. I just want to say that if any game can get away with it, it's Grand Theft Auto.
Weird.
Your floor. Go ahead.
Can I say something to Holly real quick? Real quick.
Yeah,
I am playing Doom. I just took a break.
Nice.
No,
nice.
And my only last point on that, and then we can move on, is that I'm just saying that, Grand Theft Auto, you're right, Webb, is that Grand Theft Auto can get away with it. I've said this when I've done my month-off videos and everything. Grand Theft Auto can do whatever the hell they want to. They have that type of clout. Not other game companies can get away with it. Not other publishers can get away with their games doing this. The thing to me, though, is when you say that, you get more value when you buy the bundle with the Nintendo Switch with Mario Kart than you do with buying Mario Kart World itself. And I think that's why so many people jumped on it. I mean, that's the reason why I sit there and jumped on it, is because of that reason. Well, I get this game, but I've also come to the realization that Nintendo is not going to get as much money from me as they used to because of the price, because of the reason of their price increases, because I just look at it as like, listen, you're still bringing me lesser hardware. Maybe we know Nintendo games, when their first party is hitting, they hit, but you're still asking me for $80 for a standard game or $90 for a physical. I mean, thank God I'm not all into the physical aspect of the situation, but $80 for a standard game is asinine to me for when you have lesser, you have the lesser, well, just your games are just not on the same wavelength as what a Series X or a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 5 Pro or a high-end PC is capable of, and you're still trying to tell me that this is still value. It's not happening. I'll just wait till the shopper's bin or to when we get to a Black Friday. This is how I look at it, and I think a lot of gamers are going to be looking at it the same way, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, and it's probably going to be the game that actually releases at $100. There is definitely that out there in the ether that they may actually.
If gamers fall into that,
then out there.
That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, that's what game. Listen, I mean, Take-Two already was already there talking about that they wanted to push games up to $80 to $100 standard. So if you're telling me that if Take-Two sits there and they with this game they can do that, with Grand Theft Auto they can do that, with Red Dead they could potentially do that. They can't do that with any other games that they have. I take that back. They might can do that with NBA 2K, but they can't do that. And if you got PlayStation or Xbox that's trying to be asinine to follow that narrative, or a third party out there that want to follow that narrative, the gaming industry is going to be in some serious trouble, because gamers is just not going to be in that position to want to buy. They're just going to settle for the 1 or 2 games a year. And you're talking about the hardcore like us that buys multiple games a year, and abundance. And when you buy out your clientele, that means that it's greed. It's not all just about tariffs or whatever the hell else, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hargeet, we got a couple of super chats to get to, and a comment to Paris I'd like to put on there too.
Sure. Senor Bean, $5. What is that noise? Okay. No chance am I going to play down at 30 FPS or even 60 FPS. Ray Dunk Package Elite.
And then there's Lord Roughness' comment.
Yeah, you guys like hearing something else? I don't know if I'm hearing something. Maybe it's my computer. But
it could have been in the background. Somebody. No, it's.
Yeah, Lord Roughness. Paris is cooking. If it was only coming out on Switch day 1, I'm a buy me a Switch.
There you go.
Ray, $5. KMEGA. I'm Ray. I'm the judge of Bot Court. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ray. Nice to meet you. I didn't know who Ray was. I'm just like, damn, Ray can't dunk. I'm sorry, Ray, but hey, nice to meet you, brother. It's good to meet you.
Yeah, they don't call him the 5-foot assassin for nothing.
Oh,
I'm
he's a
sorry, Ray.
monster, though.
Was
Okay.
that slander? Was that slander, Ray? I'm sorry.
Who the fuck is that guy?
So anyway, all right, goodness. Oh well, Paris, you got anything else you want to say on this topic? You're most welcome to stay around with us for sure. But I just wanted to check with you. Is there anything else you want to say on this?
I mean, I don't want to derail your show into the whole topics, but I will just say this about all the price increases stuff, and obviously Xbox followed suit of what Nintendo did, because as soon as I saw Nintendo do it at Pandora's Box, I'm like, everyone's going to do it. It was just very surprising to see Xbox be the next one in line to raise their prices. Not a fan. Don't agree with it, and a lot of what you said, KMEGA, it's spot on. People are going to be a lot more selective about the games that they purchase moving forward. So to the point, a Grand Theft Auto can get away with this. A Mario can get away with this. A Call of Duty can get away with this, right? But some of your lesser IPs, absolutely not. Just as a wild example, The Outer Worlds 2. You're going to charge $80 for that? People are going to be a lot more selective about picking up The Outer Worlds 2 at $80. They just are. You know, we're going to see a lot of we're going to see a lot of this. I mean, I don't know where the industry's headed. I get this is not all tariffs, because again, if it was quote unquote tariffs, digital games are not affected by tariffs. You know,
right?
Obviously, Nintendo, and to the point about $80, it's not just Mario Kart. It's not just new games. If you want to get Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, like if you just want to buy it straight up for the Switch 2, brand new, it's $80. They're charging you $80 for that. And we're talking Breath of the Wild came out in 2017, you know, and even if you want to quote unquote upgrade your current copy to the Switch 2 version, they're charging you $10, I believe, or something like that. So we're going to get nickel and dimed moving forward. And it really does come down to voting with your wallet. And I think a lot of these companies are going to test the limits of how much we're willing to spend, especially in the screwed up economy that we're in right now. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. I mean, Xbox raising the prices of their consoles $100 is insane to me. As we currently sit here today, their 2 terabyte Series X costs more than PS5 Pro. That's insane, right? Look, we all assume PlayStation is going to eventually raise their prices, but sitting here today, you got to judge it for what it is, and that's crazy. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean,
now,
I know you guys were talking.
Raise your prices in other countries except for the U.S. So
right, but my point is, it seems like they're gonna do it in the United States too. I mean, I'd be surprised if they didn't.
I agree.
Look, if they don't, great. That's great consumer value. I'd be all for it, but I would imagine by the time we get to 2026, I see them raising their prices where we are. $80 is going to be the new standard for AAA games. And I don't know if that's sustainable or not. So I have a lot of concern there. I don't know if you guys follow Alana Pierce, but Alana put out a fantastic video a few days ago. It was right before Xbox increased the prices. She literally called all this about how in trouble this industry is right now. There's no money. You know, no investors are not, they pivoted from investing in games into investing into other things. So there's no money. So at the AAA level, all the way down to the indie level, I mean, you know, these dev teams are scrambling. You know, independent games, which is the backbone of this industry, is in serious trouble. It just is. So, you know, people, you know, I know I'm the poster child for Game Pass because I say it's the best value in gaming as it currently stands right now. You're damn right. It's the best value in gaming at its current price. Yeah, but you think about services like that. I mean, we talk about Expedition 33, Blueprint, stuff like that. That's on there. These indie titles that where Game Pass is helping them. They're really going to need to start leaning on that stuff more to get the exposure that they need to get people to understand how great these games are to go buy them. Because if they don't, they're just going to get buried in these high prices where people are going to be, like I said, extremely picky about what they purchase moving forward. And I could go on forever, and I don't want to derail your show. It's like I even look at like what Bungie's doing with Marathon. Not a fan of that. Yeah. I think you're setting yourself up for failure with charging a premium price for what should be free to play, because I've been a part of a creator program. I've been playing this alpha. Arc Riders is vastly superior to Marathon, and that's a problem for Bungie.
Damn.
So that's going to be fascinating to see. Well, I mean, we'll see. And Arc Riders is talking about charging a price up front as well. So I don't necessarily know how that's going to work, but we'll see.
Well, maybe if it's
I know that they changed Arc Riders because I finally got the invite to play to play it. I just haven't downloaded it yet. I just got it today, but
nice.
But from going from what they presented to now being like more raid-ish type of vibe, I'm hearing when I'm listening and looking at people in Reddit and others that are saying like, I wish that they would still stick to what they would do. It is just so hard right now for gaming publishers and developers, all in all, to try to pinpoint when you're trying to do these always online games to hit when there are so many people that are just so all in on the consistency of the games that they know and love and know that those games won't deviate. So if they bring something and then people get attracted to it, and then next thing you know, all of a sudden they change up because maybe they hear something or they're trying to follow an algorithm or something like that. And then you got the same people that's excited, that fan base that's excited about that game. And then now those people are questioning it. It is just one crazy thing. And for me, my last point on this, Paris, I totally agree with everything you said. I like Marathon, the way that it looks, the way that it plays. The one thing to me that I just can't understand in 2025 is why is it that you do not have customization for your characters? That is the lifeblood of online gaming in today's sector, where you cannot customize the character that you're going to play with. They have great character models, but if you can have people that want to customize them the way that they want to, that gives that feel that they want to just keep going and continuing playing those games. And for them not having it, or if you have to wait to a season 2 to get that, Marathon might be in trouble. I agree with you 100% on a lot of things that you said, brother.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be in trouble as well, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
And I hate that for them. I love Bungie, but they're good for what they do.
Hargeet, we got a super chat. Let's get that one out of the way.
It's
been up there for a while.
Ray has been promoted to head elf at the Kiva Treehouse. All production on Kiva products have increased. Okay, there you go.
Oh, people slandering on Ray. Yeah. Ray. So yeah, exactly. Poor Ray. But I do agree about Game Pass.
Play it day one with Game Pass.
Oh yeah, it's definitely awesome. That's one of the thumbnail talks about the I guess the big saving grace for Xbox is going to be Game Pass, and it's continuing to not disappoint. And hopefully, I mean, in June at the showcase, we're gonna hear a lot more about the future and what's gonna happen for the rest of the year. Not to mention maybe into the beginning of next year as well. So looking forward to that. Where do we want to go from here, guys? Paris, you're more welcome to stay as long as you want to. So please.
But if you have a hard out. Yeah. Actually, I will exit out here. And again, I appreciate you having me up, and I know I owe you a full episode here soon. But I do want to say this because I heard you at the beginning talking about you. So you will be in LA.
I will be.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I will. I was privately talking to a certain someone about the I just keep calling it FanFest, but you know what I mean. It's the meetup that you're doing before the showcase. So I'll be there. I'll 100% be there.
Fantastic.
I have appointments right after Xbox does their digital thing, so I can't stay after. But yeah, I'll be there before and during, and I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. I even tweeted out. I saw what Ben put out there, so give more awareness to it, because hopefully people, yeah. I mean, this is what it's all about for me. So. Yeah, I'll be in LA a whole weekend, and it's always a great weekend. I'll just say this and I'll get out of here. But this is the whole point of what we do. It's the in-person stuff. It's being able to hang out with people, and we all get to talk gaming and have fun together, and all this nonsense that we see on social media all the time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be crazy for me because I'm like I ever told you privately already, my schedule is packed the rest of this month. Like I'm literally, because I got work stuff and there's gaming stuff. So I'm traveling like the rest of this month into June. So I'm literally going to be landing in LA, hopping off the plane and going to Summer Game Fest. That's how busy I am. So it's like, it's going to be nonstop, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see you, Hargeet. I know this will be the third year in a row now. So excited to see you as well. Nice. Everybody else there. Yeah. But it's gonna be good, man.
I'll always reach out to you, but I understand you're a busy man. So when you can get to me, I know you will. But every now and again, I'm just certain topics. I may, hey, you want to jump on? So and like things like this are always welcome. So like I said, I understand you're very busy, and I do appreciate any time you give to us because, like I said, you're one of the amazing members of the community, and it goes without saying that we all appreciate you and have much respect for you. Here, that's why I made you a mod, so nobody can give you any grief because you can just boot the hell out of them. Even poor P-Lump. P-Lump's determined to get an interview with you, but I don't know. He's crazy. Just kidding, P-Lump. All right. Well, anyway, Paris, thank you so much for jumping on, and you have a great night, sir. And look forward to talking to you soon and meeting up in LA. That's just
appreciate the conversation, Paris.
Can't wait.
Appreciate the conversation, man. It was great. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one, Paris.
I'm excited to hear his stuff.
And that's the kind of wonderful things that happen. Oh yeah. He's got to get back to some Doom. Yeah. He's definitely going to be playing that.
Right. Yeah. So,
well, the release date is May 15th, so that's coming out pretty soon. I think if you got you spend a little extra money, actually, it might get a couple of days early access plus some bonus stuff as well. Early. Some of us. I think Hargeet, didn't you get like the big deluxe?
I got the collector's edition and everything. So.
You're getting the helmet? Is that the one that comes with the helmet?
No, the helmet was if you got the collector's like immediately, and I don't think they even had the Xbox version or something stupid like that. But anyway, whatever. So, but no, I have the Xbox collector's, which comes with a statue, and then the game, of course.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool.
Do we want to just continue that topic as far as like actually go through our thoughts on the whole pricing thing, or do we want to go to a different topic?
Sounds good. No, that sounds good to me.
All right. So who wants to go? KMEGA, you can lead us.
Well, I've already made my point about the pricing thing. Are you just talking about with the Xbox thing? Yeah, no, I had my rant about it this week. I thought it was disgusting. I mean, and I know that DeMarco don't know me that well, but everybody else know I'm an Xbox guy to the end. Like I am an Xbox guy. Like it's my platform of choice. I'm not going anywhere. I know that Xbox made decisions that some people do not like, and I totally understand that. I'm not going to ever try to challenge somebody's thought process of, how they feel about exclusivity, things of that nature. But I'll stand on business with Phil. I've met Phil. I met Sarah. I met Aaron. I met a lot of these people, and not just because I've met them. It's just the fact that I understand that just dealing with people if working in business and understanding it. I've owned a business before, and how hard it can be to try to keep afloat on certain things. And I've been saying this for a very long time. The console market is in a decline. It is just what it is. Somebody can keep pointing about the sales of a certain of PlayStation or Xbox, but PlayStation consoles overall are down. You can show me something for what they've done in a quarter, but overall they're not going to succeed. The PlayStation 5 is not going to succeed what the PlayStation 4 done. The PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 6 or whatever is not going to ever catch up to what the PlayStation 2 did. It's just what it is. This era of gamer do not care about the consoles the way that us old heads do. Just to come to that reality, it is an important factor, and I still feel that Xbox should stand up and hold on to that, which we already know that we're going to get a new console. But for them to get into this point to where the Series X is not selling on the same wavelength as what the Xbox One is doing, and the Xbox One is tainted more than any other Xbox console in its history, is just absolutely asinine, and not standing on business, and not having the Godfather Sadia coming out and just coming real and just saying, look, it's some of the reason of it is the tariffs. Then that's you're not giving a gamer or a person that may be interested in what Xbox is providing an opportunity for them to say, look, okay, what's the reason for you to raise your price? There should be no reason, even though the PlayStation Pro to me is overpriced and is not worth the money at this point in time for what it is, to have your console that at times get beat by the PlayStation Pro higher than the PlayStation Pro is what you just told us is that, you know what? We're just moving on from this. We're just moving on from this generation, and we're just trying to figure out something else. I that's the only thing that I could see from this standpoint. And I've said this going back in 2019, 2020, that Xbox will win, will win the market share, will be the more dominant of the big three because of the reason. And I was not anticipating for them to want to put their games on other platforms, but I thought the Game Pass would be that, the Game Pass and the cloud would be that factor to do that. And I thought that the Series X and the Series S, because of the value of the Series S, would sell on about the same wavelength of what the Xbox One X is doing, to where that they will be the market leaders at some point in time. But as we see that they're the number one publishers, Microsoft is the number one publisher right now, and they're doing it, and I said this, without selling the most consoles. I said this, and we're seeing this. It's just that they had a different strategy than what I anticipated. But to price out people who are casuals, or anybody that even had an inkling of wanting to get an Xbox that has multiple other consoles or platforms, this kills it. This kills it. This pricing is just not right. It's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in my thoughts video, I'm like, I feel bad for Sarah and Matt and feeling on them, but they had to sign on this as well, because the people that want this money, they're saying, look, this is what we have to do, and this is what has to be done. And they're the ones that's going to get the brunt. It's not going to be the people that we don't know outside of Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond and Matt Booty and Aaron Greenberg and the rest of them. And so that to me is just one of these things. It's like the Xbox Series platform to me at this point in time, because of its pricing, is dead. Ain't nobody going to pay $700. We're talking about, and this is my last point on this, we're talking about that's a price point for a brand new vehicle. You know how I know? It's because my wife just got a brand new vehicle, and she's paying less than what she got a brand new vehicle, 2025. And you're telling me she's paying less for a vehicle than it is for a 4 or 5 year console? That has never happened in the history of console. And to me, it is disgusting. And anybody that rails on this or try to talk about this into a positive light, you are a fraud. You're a fraud in the public just because you were just trying to be an Xbox fan and kiss the ass of the Xbox brand. Listen, I'm an Xbox fan. I will always be an Xbox fan. But there are some things that there are limits, and there's things that need to be addressed, and people need to stand up for this. We cannot allow to where we can see gamers now, to where gaming is at a point to where it's pricing out the casual market, and people like us that are willing to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for these products, that it's even pricing us out, or even us to make to say, damn, hold up. I might have to cut back on a few games, or I might have to cut back on or maybe not getting this one extra platform for that. It's not right. And to me, I found it disgusting. That's my point of view on it.
All right. All right. Well, and we do appreciate your point of view as well.
Yeah, thank you.
DeMarco, what are your thoughts on this, sir?
I think I look at it. I try to look at everything optimistically. Anybody who's ever seen like any of my content knows I always try to see like, okay, well, what's the other side of this, right? So, I mean, after the plague comes the Renaissance. I think we're definitely in the heart of an interesting time where, yeah, you are pricing people out. I'm actually more concerned about the implications of Game Pass being the value that it is, if I'm being honest. And what I mean by that is to say, we already know there's this ongoing discussion about, well, if you buy a game, you technically don't own it, you're just leasing it, right? So there's already that conversation, but then you really get into that with what Game Pass does, where now people say, well, I can't afford to pay $80, so I'm just going to get all of these games through Game Pass, to the point where more and more players are locked into that. I mean, I've had people in my own comments, in my own socials saying, well, I'm just in Game Pass now. That's it. I feel like I'm stuck in it. I don't mind that I'm stuck in it because I know what the value is, but I am. That's where my entire library exists. And as these games reach 80, I mean, if Grand Theft Auto sets a new standard of 100, that's even more terrifying. So now you're locked into this. So what does that mean for ownership when Game Pass inevitably does increase in price and that value starts to decrease over time? We're already having conversations about funding not being there for a lot of these studios. So when Game Pass value starts to dry up, now these gaming companies that are listing their games on Game Pass aren't able to see that same return because Microsoft says, well, we can't pay as much as we used to because we're not making as much revenue from Game Pass as we used to. There's a lot of implications that come from things like this. And like I said, after the plague comes the Renaissance, right? So, when you do have titles like Expedition 33 that comes out, $50, phenomenal game, tons of content that's included with it. I think of something like Baldur's Gate 3. Games were starting to release at $70. Baldur's Gate 3 still released at $60 price point. So you're going to keep seeing a lot of these titles use that as a leverage point and argue. I think like Exodus is a game I'm incredibly excited for, and that has an opportunity to release at $60 or 70, maybe 70, right, which is lower than that $80 price point. So I think that a lot of gamers are going to keep shifting towards indies. They're going to keep shifting towards AA developers. That to me is more exciting because, as Paris mentioned, it's the backbone of the industry. These games, innovation in gaming, I've always had the opinion that innovation in gaming comes from indie titles, right? Even Starfield took its flying mechanics from FTL, which is a small little indie game, phenomenal indie game. People should check that out. But this small little thing, and that's where it got those game mechanics from. So the indie games shape the industry a lot more than I think people give it credit for. We're starting to see that more and more as titles like Blueprints, Expedition 33, as these things start to hit the market. And my hope is that a studio like Expedition 33, well, those who made Expedition 33, what is it? I'm blanking on their name. What is the studio?
Kempler?
Sandfall.
Yes,
Well,
thank you.
I thought that was the publisher, but wasn't the name of them like Kempler or something like that? Or maybe that could have been what they used. Or I know they used the Unreal Engine 5, but I don't know. Every time that I play it, I see something about Kempler. I see Sandfall, but then I see the Sandfall, whatever. But I see something with Kempler or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, the team behind Expedition 33. The hope that a game like that gives them enough notoriety to be able to say, hey, we are the team behind this product. We got our start with Game Pass. We're the team behind this product. Check out what we're making next. And we didn't need funding because our last game was incredibly successful. And that's what I look forward to. And we're still going to release it at $50. Kepler is the publisher. Okay, Sandfall is dev. Kepler.
Okay.
Thank you.
I had it backwards.
So that's the future that I get excited for. And I think that's going to start coming, but that is at the cost of people saying, I'm not buying Grand Theft Auto at whatever nonsense price they want to release it at. I don't have faith in the wider market because, again, we always have to keep in mind that myself, WebDave, Hargeet, Kay, we're all part of this smaller community, right? That's really invested in it. And the people who follow us are part of that community that really dive into these games and are really passionate about it. The broader market is not the same, right? The majority of gamers is not the same. And those are the ones that are going to say, all right, $80, that's what the price of games is. I guess I'll just buy it. Those are the ones that are like, Game Pass went up in price. All right, well, I'm still going to buy it. And if that's what the majority says, companies are going to follow it, right? Vote with your wallets. I just hope that when people vote with their wallets, it is by going out and buying Expedition 33. It's by going out and buying whatever the next Larian Studios title, the next Blueprints, so on and so forth. But I'm excited that the next Exodus is a great example. I'm really excited for that. But those titles from these AA indie studios, I think that's a really bright future to look forward to. Not $80 whatever, checkbox, boardroom approved. Comes out next.
There you go.
All right, anonymous boss.
Hargeet,
5, whatever that denomination is. Salute all 100% Hargeet. What did you say last time for everyone to know something about everyone as a CEO? It's SIE. Bring it up for all of us one more time. I'm assuming you mean when they had multiple CEOs and we didn't even know who the heck was the actual CEO, but I think that's all ironed out now. I guess it's Nishino. He's the CEO, and it's still Hiroki's kind of running everything, but he's kind of let it all go to Nishino to do all the day-to-day, whatever. But look, yeah, he had to step in. Obviously, that was a whole fun thing for PlayStation, and all the management kind of got cleaned out, and now they have a whole new set of people there, I guess. So whatever's going on, Herman's still there though. He's still managing the gaming stuff, though he stepped down from co-CEO to something else, whatever it is. And Nishino's kind of running PlayStation. But yeah, whatever. As far as this, I don't know. We'll probably get this last one too. JD Gamer. Okay. $20. Wow. Thanks, JD Gamer. We have to stop, and I need y'all to hear me. We have to stop. And by we, I mean us old heads that have been in console gaming for decades. Somehow we have convinced ourselves that we and only we represent what the future of Xbox. We don't. Yeah, you're 100% right. Unfortunately, like we are going 100%. To sort of just age out, as it were. I don't want to get to the negatives of people pass away, but we will age out. And unfortunately, the next gen.
We're already the irrelevant. We're already irrelevant now. That's why I said this. Go ahead, Barney.
Yeah. I think part of that is like they're hedging their bets for the next thing, right? They know that, and the world is shifting when it comes to newer gamers coming in. They aren't necessarily console gamers. Some do play on console, but a lot of them have shifted their habit to something different, right? So, and they've been hedging their bet for that for a while. They know that that's happening. So Xbox is positioning themselves beyond that. It's much easier for them to do that because they're open, right? They don't care if they're putting something on mobile or putting something on PC or putting something on console. They're going to give you everything. Putting something on cloud, they don't care. They're open to everything. So that's their model. They even put stuff on competitors' platforms, right? And that's a normal Microsoft thing, and it's just now showing up on the Xbox side. Now, as far as the price increases, well, look, I kind of expected them to do this next gen anyway, but the idea of them subsidizing consoles was going to be over. The competitors have not been subsidizing for a bit, and Xbox has, and that is great if it worked, right? If it suddenly increased their market share, but it hasn't. So how much are they going to keep taking a bath? That was really the question. And I just figured they would just ride it out and let it go, but apparently they're not. And you have to look at the dynamics of where we are in the gaming console world as well. The Xbox One and PS4 are still running, right? They still keep getting games. Do you think when the next gen comes out that the PS5 and series consoles won't keep going for a while? They probably will, and they'll probably keep selling the bloody things. And they're like, well, okay, how much are we going to take a bath? I'm not excusing this. I hate it. I don't like the idea of increasing prices, but from a business perspective, I get what they're doing. I understand what they're doing. They're basically saying we're not going to take a bath on this anymore because our competitors aren't. And there's no reason because it's not working. It would be one thing if it was like, oh, cool, this kept up on parity, right? We're now at the same level as PlayStation or Nintendo. That they're nowhere near that, right? So why take the hit? I just think they're done with that. They're like, we're done
It
with
doesn't
that. And
matter, especially for their hardware, when whatever they sell on their own hardware at this point is just a bonus since they are everywhere, right? So who cares, right? You buy our platform, let us just make money on it and then also make money everywhere else.
and that's where they are. And you know, so you know, they're also setting the stage for what's coming later, because PlayStation did that as well with the Pro. They basically have told you, don't expect the next gen to be $400. That's not happening. Your base is going to be $700. Okay, and
PlayStation
and that's what's going to happen here too. Your base Xbox is likely $700 or $800. You're just going to set the stage. Now that the sticker shock of the 2 terabyte, go find one. It's hard to find that box. It doesn't even really exist. Yeah. It's a special edition 2 terabyte, but
just buy
either way,
buy the
card, right? Buy the 1 terabyte.
Yeah, just buy the card. The card is
right?
It's down now. Yeah,
but we see the sticker shock of the $730, right? The actual SKU is $600 and $550, but just still ridiculous. But that's where they are, right? Because that's what you really will find out there if you find anything. It's very hard to find them. They're not in stock. At least not here. I don't know about the rest of the world. It's probably the same. They're just not in stock. And that is probably them making this transition. And they probably have stopped production for a bit. That would be my guess, to say, why are we doing this? And, you know, and then on top of that, you can blame tariffs for some part of it, but I don't think that's it. They don't have a global price increase because of one country's tariff situation. That's not what's happening here. This is them saying, we're done with this model. We're moving on. You're going to pay cost or you're going to pay for profit. That's the way it's going to be. And that sucks. It really does. But that's a transition, right? It's a transition away. And now that makes it on more firm footing with equivalents like ROG Ally, which is in that price range, right? With other PC gaming hardware that's going to keep coming, Steam OS based stuff that's coming. This is kind of the world right now that's going to compete at a normal level and not have a subsidy. Right. And that way they don't have to do anything to give the subsidy, but we'll see if others do. Like Nintendo's been selling a profit. I'm assuming they're going to continue to sell a profit. PlayStation got to the profit level and then they increased prices, and we'll see if that continues. I don't know if they're going to increase the price again, but we'll see what happens. So this is kind of where it is. And unfortunately, normally what we see in the console generations is hardware can be streamlined a bit more. The APUs can be cut down in cost. But that hasn't happened to the same level, right? So they have done a little bit of streamlining, but it hasn't given them the savings, which they could usually pass on to the customer. That hasn't happened this generation. In fact, things have gotten more costly, and then they come down a bit. So, but unfortunately, that's where they are. And that's why you're seeing both PlayStation and Xbox. They haven't really done that whole, hey, we'll just cut the prices. It hasn't happened. Normally by now, they're substantially lower. It's not happened. And, you know, it's a sad thing, but it is where we are. I'd say, oh, hey, PC is also getting price gouging on their side too. Like the components are starting to escalate in price there too. So, you know, it is what it is. This is just the world we're in. It still sucks. I'm not gonna give them like a free pass on this. No, this is terrible. And you know, it was great to be able to have that $300 price point of entry. I was even say, hey, last holiday, hopefully they'll have something like $200 with like Call of Duty. They didn't do any of that. They didn't do any of that, right? So I think they're kind of done with the model of subsidizing the hardware, and it's going to be cost or profit for hardware now. And next gen, expect them to cost this much. So this is kind of, both of them are setting that stage. Nintendo's already been doing it, right? Everybody got sticker shock, $450. I'm like, this is kind of normal for what they're giving you. That's a pretty good price, right? But people got sticker shock, $450. Yeah, that's what that costs. That's what that costs. And so this is unfortunately the way the world is going. JD Gamer, $5. Xbox will exist both on their own console, but also beyond the console. And it's already working for them. And it's a play they know will work well. Yeah, this is kind of the way it is, right? They know things have shifted and they're going to keep going. It's fine. JD Gamer, another $5. Now that we're past the ranting, imagine the positives that are coming to Xbox. We will get a truly universal gaming platform with superior hardware. Yeah, and that's another thing that's coming. And I guess we have that as a topic, and we potentially run into that, is the iOS drama and saga, which has some pretty good implications or interesting implications for consoles as well. But do we want to just roll into that one?
Let's do it.
All right. So for those who aren't up to date, you know, way back Apple was sued by Epic for not allowing them to monetize outside of their store. So everything that happens on the Apple platform and the iOS platform, not Mac, but the iOS platform, is locked to monetization through their monetization system. In other words, their transaction system. So you have to use them to gain any money, and then they take their 30% cut of it. So no matter what you do, you have to pay them 30%. They've done a few exemptions. Things like Netflix are allowed to exempt themselves, but by and large, they've said everybody who does any transactions on that platform, they have to go through our system to do it, and that means a 30% cut to Apple. And so Epic sued them because they're like, well, no, we want to sell V-Bucks and we don't want you to take the money. So we're going to, when they click the button to buy, we're going to go to the web browser. They will log into their Epic account and bypass your transaction system. And they said, no, you're breaking the terms of service, which is true. They are. And then they took them to court. So all this time later, it eventually, got to the point where the governments around the world have kind of agreed that this is bullshit, that they can't keep doing this, that you as a platform can't lock it down unless you have competition. So if you're going to be the platform du jour and the vast majority of all transactions that are happening on your platform, then you need to have somebody else that can offer a better deal for both the consumer and the publisher or developer of that content, right? So that's kind of where this ended. So right now, iOS will have to allow other transactions, other stores to be available on iOS. And when you take that and extrapolate it further, obviously that's going to have to happen on Google, which is already in its own throes of this whole thing. But there's another locked ecosystem that kind of came up at the same time. Right around the same time is when the 360 started selling digital games, and you had the digital store. And so now you had another locked store where it wasn't viable to have an alternative. And so that is going to start happening on this side too. Somebody's going to eventually say, hey, wait a second, I bought this game on Steam. Why can't I play it on my PlayStation? Why is this locked over here? What the heck does that mean? Why? Right? I bought this already. Why is it locked? Why can't I buy my game on any XYZ store and play it on that, Nintendo? Why is it locked? Right? So Xbox is already ready to go there, right? They've already told you, hey, we're ready to put Steam on there. We're ready to put itch.io on there.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready to put Epic on there. Anybody else? Oh, fine. Fine. So they're willing to do all that. By the way, this is why they're also not going to take a bath on the hardware, because they needed the 30% to cover the cost of giving you a discount on the hardware. That's done. So this is why they can go ahead and say, fine, we don't care. Buy the game on Steam. Play it on your Xbox. We don't care. Have fun. You know why they don't need that? They have the one advantage that PlayStation really doesn't, which is they have black hole games. They have games that just print money. They don't need to do anything. As we said, they're the biggest publisher. Why? They have games that everybody wants to play, and they keep spending tons of money in them. So they just print money. They were called out. Minecraft and Call of Duty, along with Game Pass, were the drivers of revenue growth. They just print money. They don't care. They don't need to have the 30%. They don't need it. PlayStation needs it because that's how they make money. They screamed it from the hilltops when Xbox was buying at ABK. How will we survive? We take the money from Call of Duty to make our games. They said that, right? This is not something that Xbox has to worry about. They print money. They have so much coming in with those big black hole games. So that's not as big of an issue for them. They're just going to get rid of that negative on their balance sheet of having to pay you to buy their box. That's what this is. And I get the business. I still hate it. I'm just telling you what the business is, right? That's what's happening there. Now, when this kind of shows up for PlayStation and Nintendo, we'll see what they do. If they're going to be able to say, oh, crap, we need to allow other stores. I don't know what's going to happen. Somebody in the industry is going to push them. It might even be Epic. It might be Epic because they've been the fall guy to take on this battle. It may be Epic says, no, we want the Epic store on PlayStation. Why isn't it there? Right? That could happen. I'm just saying. So this is an interesting time. Watch the next few years, see what happens, right? Xbox has said, we don't care. Go ahead. We'll put anybody's store on. They've already said it. They're already trying to do it. So they have already hedged their bets. They've set themselves up to not be in that problem. Why? Because they've already been called out as a monopoly right? And they know what the freaking regulators are going to say, and they're like, "Oh, we already taken care of it. See, we allow everybody. We put our games everywhere. We allow everybody to store. They can buy it anywhere. We don't care. We're good. We're good. We just want to compete." Right? So they've already done that. So this is going to be interesting times for the other ones, right?
Exactly.
I'll read this anonymous boss. Like Hargeet said, everyone is. I think we already did this one, right?
Did we?
Oh no. Okay, I got it. Do you guys think we will ever get a Morrowind remake? Maybe it could be a possibility in the future. I would love that. Absolutely love that. I would love to see a Morrowind remake. That would be awesome.
After now seeing what Oblivion is doing, no doubt.
Yeah, that'd be so
no
awesome.
No doubt. I wouldn't even be surprised to see Skyrim again. So
maybe.
You know what I'm saying? A Skyrim remake.
Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas.
I think Fallout 3 is already on the docket, right? That's
Fallout 3 is basically it's confirmed more or less.
Yeah.
Xbox did say that they wanted to bring back some of their older some of the older IPs from these companies that they acquired. So that just makes so much sense. Right. So it makes perfect sense.
All right. Let's go to UK Mega. What do you think about the iOS Apple Store thing?
Listen, I mean, it's business. For anybody that's followed Apple has always been doing crummy stuff. It's kind of the standard of why PlayStation follows behind what Apple does, and they continue to do that. And now since Apple is going through what they're going through, I'm happy for it, and that is right there for Microsoft, and I think that's one of the reasons why we haven't started seeing them really going full-fledged nuclear with their mobile IPs going out, is because of this lawsuit. Now, since this looks like that it's going to benefit them, I think that you'll start seeing a lot more of this. And I've stated this as well. That Nintendo will eventually start putting games on PC. I'm not going to take full credit for it because the first person that I heard it from is a person that a lot of people don't give a lot of credit to, even though he don't bat 1,000 all the time, but when he does, he don't give the credit for it, and that's a Hip Hop Gamer. He said this, and I said, what? It didn't make sense at the time, but now since you brought this up, that yes, Epic could push this. I mean, why not? Nintendo has been playing in their own lane forever. And the way the gaming is being structured now, and the era of the console is not as the standard for gaming like it used to be. Why the hell not? And gaming is in a place right now where you're talking about what we just talked about, the pricing. $80, $90, $100 games, subscriptions, and all these other things. Listen, my wife is always on her phone playing a mobile game. Always. I'm like, listen, the Series S is right there. Turn it on. You're not. You're looking at your phone game. But regardless, you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. And Microsoft knows this. PlayStation knew this. PlayStation, with Genshin Impact and for everything that they have with that, with the Zen's, what is it, Zenless Zone, which
Zenless
is really
Zone Zero,
yeah, Zenless Zone Zero and Witless. I don't know. Let me be country. I pronounced that wrong, but those are some really good games. Those are really damn good games. So the thing to me is just like, yes, mobile is another avenue for where Microsoft, again, already being the number one publisher, and they have their limitations already. Just think when the mobile kicks in. So it is just what it is. And Apple is going to have to adjust and make and do what needs to be done. And I think that this is going to eventually get to a point to where, maybe not in the near future, but in some time in the future, where Nintendo and PlayStation is going to have to follow suit. Because the one thing for PlayStation is going to have to follow suit because they see money on the table and they're going to want it. They see what Xbox is doing, and everybody was talking bad about it with the subscription service, and then now putting games on other platforms and so forth and so forth. Now Nintendo's gonna be like, PlayStation's gonna be like, oh shit, you know what? things ain't looking too hot right now. We're going to have to start doing the same things eventually and then getting their fan base to comply. Nintendo is the only one out of the big three that has been steadfast at doing what they need to do on how they do it, and nobody questions them. I think that that's about to change just because of the situation that's happening with Apple. So you're making a lot of sense here. And will it benefit Microsoft? Absolutely. Microsoft is all in. They've done their Trojan horse effect. And I know that a lot of people don't like it. I'm not the biggest fan of it either. But as like you said, in the scheme of business, we totally understand this, and they've been rewarded for this, not by hitting everybody with just something to get somebody in. They got gaming on the Fire Stick, they got gaming on your TV, they got gaming on the PC, they got a console. They're gonna start going full-fledged on mobile. They got gaming in the cloud. Microsoft is really setting the tone on how to make this work for them to where, like you said, just print money and then give back their customers more of what gamers want, and that is games. So it is it's pretty fascinating.
For sure.
DeMarco, your
Most
thoughts?
definitely. Yeah.
I'm on
Margo?
PC, so for someone like me, it's like, oh wow, finally, you guys will be able to do a different storefront on your Xbox. Wow, it's about time. Listen, it's good. It's great. As what I will say is, I hope that when this seems like the inevitable future. How many times have people been saying that? I mean, consoles are already just PCs, right? That's what they are, and the next generation is going to be even closer to that. It's just going to keep bridging the gap until they're more or less even you could buy a pre-built. You could buy a pre. I'm not trying to say like, oh, PC's better. I don't care. I really do. I play on Xbox, play on PlayStation, whatever is convenient for you. I love my PlayStation controller. I like my Xbox controller. I like my PC whatever. But what I will say is, what I like even more than any of that is having the option of, hey, there's a great deal over on GOG, and obviously the big selling. I'm guilty of this. I have all my games on Steam, but I will say I'm a huge simp for GOG. It's phenomenal what they do. Their DRM free games and everything like that, and the way that they handle ownership and they advocate for that ownership too. In a period where games ownership is a bit of a contentious topic and becoming more present as an issue as the years go on. So I love having the even Epic Game Store. I will say, as much flack as it got when it came out, the fact that you actually get cash back through Epic Game Store is phenomenal. And you know, I love getting my Steam points, but they're stupid and silly and I don't care. So I'd rather get my cash back through Epic, right? So those kinds of incentives is a phenomenal aspect of competition that I want to see hit the console market as well, because ultimately I'm not on the side of Xbox, I'm not on the side of PlayStation, I'm on the side of gamers, I'm on the side of consumers, and that provides more value to consumers. So if this is sort of the gateway that allows that to happen more, I think it's really exciting, and I hope that the console market gets to see what value that does bring, that you can go through all these different storefronts. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter which you're choosing, but you get to find wherever you get the most value out of, and you can play the way that you want to play. That's why I love that Xbox is available on Fire Stick, console, TVs, PC. I wish that Sony would push for day and date as well. I hope that Nintendo allows on different platforms. That would be phenomenal, because I was very excited for the Switch 2 until the prices of the hardware and the games came out, and I said I can't afford that, right? So if they make it more widely available, and of course, as Hargeet you mentioned, Microsoft is already trying to get ahead of the curve. And I love that they're trying to do it. The reasons, right, is for legal protection. So, the ends justify the means in that case, right? They're not necessarily doing it because they're like, hey, we want to make sure that we look at how good, and of course they'll frame it that way. Look at how great we are. We're doing all this stuff, but they're trying to get ahead of the legal curve. But I'm fine with that. At the end of the day, that's good for me as a gamer. So I'm okay with that. Other than that, I think Hargeet, you and NK, you guys summed it up really, really well.
Yeah, I agree
He had
with
a
that
great,
for sure.
he had
And,
great points too. Like, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Not
The only
because you're
thing
saying that
got
I
to say
was
with,
right or me and Hargeet was right. I'm just saying what your point was absolutely spot on as well.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But one thing is for sure is for Microsoft.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Just saying. Yeah, good times, good times. Yeah, keep that money rolling. Keep that money rolling.
How much do you think the new
I'm gonna
consoles
close out
is
this
going to be,
poll real
Web
quick.
Dave? Okay.
What now?
How much
Go
do you
ahead.
think the new
What were
the
you
new
gonna say?
Xbox console going to be? Well, I should ask the panel this. How much do you think the new console is going to be?
The new console that comes out 2026, 2027, whichever it's coming out, the next gen console. I mean, I think it's going to be under $1,000 because that's what Phil said, that no one's going to pay $1,000. So that means, $99.99. No, but who knows? But definitely, I think probably around the $700 range is probably 7+ will probably be something that'll be out there. But you will still have the current gen. This gen will probably still be available, which will be something that'll be
For
the
quite some time.
affordability
Yeah.
factor. Yeah, exactly. But I think as the new generation comes out, they're finally going to get rid of the backlog, the PlayStation 4, the stuff that's the
Xbox
anchors that are kind of
One.
holding dragging about. Yeah, exactly. Xbox One, all that stuff's going to be gone because they won't really need it. As far as even on the Xbox One, you can actually stream cloud games through the Game Pass. So
Yeah,
it
so
doesn't
I don't
tax the
know what's going to
hardware as
happen with
much.
that unless the big black hole games decide to move, right? So until Minecraft and Roblox and all those guys move over, I don't know, Fortnite, are they going to really stop supporting those? I don't know. We'll see. But yes, I think they'll probably. I mean, they already stopped selling them, right? I think you can't buy those anymore.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, these are probably going to keep getting sold for quite a while. The series consoles. But anyway, so
Oh, yeah.
DeMarco, what do you think? Price?
I'm assuming $100 more than what they're raising the prices to for the current gen systems. I think that they're raising these prices for the reasons you explained, right? They don't want to absorb those costs anymore, but also to prepare people so that sticker shock doesn't happen as much when everyone goes, it's $800. They'll go, oh, it's only $100 more than the last console. That's not so bad, right?
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's my prediction. But I do think that the Series X is going to be to whatever the next gen console name will be for Xbox or even PlayStation. But in this case, Xbox, right? The Series X will be the Series S to the next gen console. So Microsoft is really going to say, hey, you're looking for good value that can still run your games. Because I don't know if the technology difference is going to be, it's going to be a matter of, this is the enthusiast model. You do want the 4K at the 60 frames. This is the console you buy. But hey, you're willing to play at 1080p or you're willing to play at 2K, 60 frames a second, then you could stick on the other hardware.
Yeah.
What you think, Hardeep?
Yeah, so I think at minimum 700. I think that's the floor. And like you were saying, DeMarco, I think the base model Series X actually is $600, and you look at the $700 PS5 Pro and say, okay, it's probably around that range. So I think base it's $700, but I would not be shocked if it's $800. That would not surprise me. So I think it's that range. But I think that's where it's going to be. A lot of this also is if they are going to do this partner model where they're saying, hey, we're going to have like ROG Ally Xbox Edition or Lenovo Legion Go Xbox Edition, whatever, they have to sell at profit, right? That's not going to be a subsidized device. So those folks need to be able to compete. So Xbox is going to have to put out something that's going to be price competitive to that, right? Not to say, hey, we're going to subsidize and pay people to buy our box, and therefore those guys will get knocked out of the market. No, it has to kind of be a level playing field. So they could do the same thing, for instance, with their Surface devices. They don't, right? You pay what the cost is, right? That's the way it is, and that's because they don't want to tell Dell, hey, suffer. They're not going to do that. Dell is a massive massive partner of theirs. You got the other ones out there, Lenovo, Toshiba, and what I don't know if they still, but you know what I mean, like all the other HPs and all those companies that make partner devices. They are not going to make them annoyed by doing something crazy on their side. They just want to create devices that are more compelling to the market. That's all. Just to say, hey, there's potentials that we can have a variation, and then hey, you guys want to do something similar, please do that. So I think that's kind of what it's going to be. It's going to be whatever it costs to make the device plus a profit, and that's what you're going to have. My guess is that's going to be in the 800-ish range, $700 to $800. I think we're going to need to have 2 terabytes. Just because of escalation of assets, right? People want more heavy assets. It's probably going to be in that range. So that is probably going to be the base. So that just puts it in that range. It's going to be like an $800-ish device. I could see a $700 SKU.
$799.
But
that's it, right? That would be my guess.
My prediction on this it is $700 standard, $900 with the bundled of this whatever this that little handheld thing that they're going to have with it, because this is my thing. Well, on top of that, this is because I do think.
Wait, you think it'll be $200 for the handheld?
No, because they're gonna want value. They're gonna want to show value with that.
Sorry, I just want to make sure I was here. Right?
Yeah. No, I think that thing is going to be like $400 for that handheld. But I think for what Xbox is going to try to do is they're going to say we're good, because I think Xbox is with this next console. I think this is probably going to be Xbox's last console. Is going to be their creme de la creme, the most powerful. It's going to be a high standard edition. So it's going to be $700 standard. I think that they'll have a $800-900 bundle with this one thing for value. And I will add this, because I think that this is Xbox's last console, is that this generation for the console will last long enough for our old asses to age out on it to where we don't care no more. So I think it will be as long, this next generation will be about as long as the 360 PlayStation 3 generation.
It's getting to that point, right? Of like, what is the diminishing returns that you like? How much better is it going to get?
Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, one thing I'll note is I don't think it's going to come with a disk drive. I think you're going to, if it's available, it's going to be an accessory. So I think that price is without a disk drive. So it's going to be a digital.
Oh, so that'll be $700. Yeah, that'll be $700.
It'll be $700-800 without the disk drive, and if you want the disk drive, it'll be an additional whatever the heck they're going to charge you for it.
Yeah.
Which I assume they'll still have it for backwards compatibility, but I don't know. We will see what they do. But that is kind of the model that PlayStation is choosing. They're basically selling you 2 digital consoles, and then you can buy the disk drive if you want it, right? So that's cool. That's one way to do it. I'm not averse to that as long as I have the choice. That way, the people who don't care about that, because apparently the vast majority of gamers are digital anyway, they don't have to pay the extra bucks for the drive, right? That's fair. So fine. As far as the handheld, I don't think it's $300 to $400. Like that thing's going to be more expensive.
You think it's going to be more than that? Oh shit! Then we are looking at $1,000 bundle.
Yeah. So I think that will likely be in the $500 to $600 range. The handheld, that'd be my guess. Right, because look, the Switch 2 at $450, that's a fair price for what it's doing. And you look at the ROG Ally, that's what, $600-700, right? There's a lower tier model, but the normal tier model, it's something like that, right? I think I paid like $700-800 for that thing.
I don't even play handheld enough to be caring about the bed.
Exactly.
But I mean,
so you gotta, unfortunately,
but I'm going to buy it just because
it's
an Xbox product. But it's just, to me, it's just like, what?
Exactly. It's becoming very expensive. That's unfortunately the way it is. Now, I don't know if tech can bring the costs down. Probably not. We will see. But that is kind of where it is. But yeah, with a screen, with a dock or anything like that, it's going to be up there. That'd be my guess.
Yeah. So never mind. So $700 standard, $1,000 for a bundle. But I do think that this is going to be a long generation, regardless. I think that because I think this Xbox is going to be the true god tier powerful console that we've ever seen in the history of gaming, in my opinion. because I think Xbox is just trying to go out with a bang and say, listen, with the Xbox console aspect of it, I should say, and say, listen, we provided what you've been asking for. This is going to be a long generation. Now the future, we're here at the future now. Yeah, we're here at this point to where now you guys have aged out. We've listened to this point, and now we're ready for the next 20, 30 somethings coming up now as we age out to be in our 50s and 60s, and at that point we're caring about more about other shit than we are about the prices of consoles. So and exclusivity.
All right, JD Gamer, $10. A lot of PlayStation gamers, not the Twitter warriors, but just the PlayStation gamers, were on a thread complaining about PlayStation and saying that they should all just get Game Pass, and that's the advantage that Xbox has. Thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you guys think? When we start, Marco, why don't you talk?
He's right.
Hold on. Game Pass, and that's an advantage. Saying that they should all just get Game Pass and that's an advantage. Game Pass worries me. That's the thing. I love the value that it has, but Game Pass worries me. It is an advantage though, because it is incredible value. I come from the perspective of someone who I like to own things. Like I hate the idea of renting, like even like with a car, I hate the idea of leasing. I just like to own, and I know technically you don't own your games, I get it, but Game Pass and people getting locked into that, and the price increases, and I'm concerned about the value of it going down over time, right? These things don't last forever. I'm not going to say will follow the same pattern as streaming services, but it's in that same bucket where they start seeing the subscribers to those go down, then they cut costs where they can, then you get limited on what's featured there, and suddenly the Game Pass library gets smaller. It's already it's massive, but and of course these are all hypotheticals dwelling on what could go wrong. But it's a good value for now. It is a massive advantage for Xbox, and I think Xbox should absolutely leverage that as much as they possibly can.
KMEGA, what do you think?
I personally, Xbox. See, this is the thing, and I understand. You're a younger guy, and I can understand. I now respect your point of view, DeMarco. But this is the reality. Xbox will be 10 years old next year. Game Pass will be 10 years old next year. We have been hearing about how Game Pass has been Game Pass fodder. If Game Pass was not going to succeed, the opportunity was when during that stretch when the Xbox One had nothing because they had delays or cancellations of games that was going to help propel Game Pass. And what held Game Pass afloat at that time, and listen, I like Crackdown 3, but compared to what the competition was bringing, you had State of Decay, you had Sea of Thieves, you had Crackdown 3, and you had older Xbox titles. Maybe you had maybe some stuff that came through that before it really started popping off towards the Xbox One S era, X era, where you had the Assassin's Creed and things like that. Bro, Xbox Game Pass is in a whole nother league compared to what it was in 2016. And it's substantially is standing strong. And then there's another indication too why subscription services is the future, not because only the price range, but also you just look at something like EA Play, which was EA Access, and EA Access is nowhere near substantial on the level of what Game Pass is, nor is Ubisoft Plus. I think that when you look at what Game Pass is providing for gamers, and since Ubisoft brought up that stupid ass narrative, which I can't stand, but it's the truth. I'm glad that they were honest that we do not own our media now. And like you said, GOG is very important. We do want to feel like when we pay these prices for these digital products that if we pay for it, then we should own it. If not, then that should be a disclaimer. They need to change that stuff. But since they don't, Game Pass, all these subscription services is the way of the future and the way of us having some kind of value. Even though if they raise the price to Game Pass here in the next year, you still have all this quality content. And I don't think that they'll diminish just for the main reason because developers is going to want to find a safe bet to put their games somewhere to where people can play them and have the potential of buying them or at least getting the bag from Microsoft because of the fact if the industry is really going to try to go there by charging more money for games, like you said earlier, smaller titles, indie titles, they are hooked because consumers is not going to give them an opportunity because all they're going to think about is like, shit, when is the next Call of Duty? When is the next Madden? When is the next NBA 2K? When is the next Doom? When is the next this game that I know that I can be familiar with, that I know that's going to be a banger compared to something that I don't know about that's still charging me more money that I want to spend. So I don't know. I don't know. I just want to hit your thoughts on that, DeMar.
No, what you're saying is absolutely correct, right? Subscription service. Like I'm not disagreeing. I'm not so naive to say that I don't think that subscription services are where the industry is heading. I do. I think that a lot of people see that and they go, well, I'm just not going to pay $80 a game when I have hundreds of them for $25, $30. Hell, listen, it can go up even above $30 a month, right? And people would still say, I can spend prices of games are $80. If Game Pass, just a hypothetical situation were $40, they say, okay, well, there's 3 games I'm really excited for that's coming out. They're going to be day one on Xbox Game Pass, and I could spend half of that and get to play all 3 of them, right? That's an incredible value, and I never want to diminish that. And I do think that is why Xbox has garnered so much support this generation, is especially because of what Game Pass is doing. I sent it in a chat, but the perspective I come from is just I'm wary of how long it stays that way.
Yeah, no, no, I totally understand that. I just think for me is that if the industry is going to be shady to me, then I got to think about being shady back. And if I would still want to continue gaming, then I got to look at it from a perspective of where I can find my small wins at. Okay, all right, Xbox, you messed around and you did something stupid by charging more money with Game Pass at $30, right? But I still look at the value of it. I also see the value in Play Anywhere. That's why I say for like, if anything that I will never, and I mean this, I will not pay $80. I will never pay $80 for a standard game. But if somebody argued to me, it's like, well, Mega, at least you get to play that game on multiple platforms. You buy it once and you can play on multiple platforms. I can sit there and give them the benefit of the doubt with that. But when I'm looking at a PlayStation fan, when I'm looking at a Nintendo fan, they don't have that same luxury. That's why I said that Xbox still provides the best value than any other gaming platform out of the big 3. It still makes the point of, if you care about physical, that's over with, because you know what? The public decided that physical didn't matter enough to where gamers thought it was more convenient about buying games digitally instead of going to GameStop or Best Buy or their local brick and mortar store and standing in line and then waiting to bring that game home and then re-downloading it and install it. They said, shit, I want convenience. So that era is over. So for the people that still care about physical, you're just buying a disc that will become a damn coaster eventually whenever that company decides that game needs to be shut down, because it still needs to be downloaded and it still needs to have a server to operate it this day and form. That's why I said, like you said earlier, like GOG is important, but I don't know. I just look, I'm gotten to the point now in my old age. You're still young, you're still a whippersnapper, you still got a lot more things to do. I'm looking for value. Fuck it. I'm caring about value. I'm trying to save my pockets because I want to have vacations. I want to have a good time. I want to sit there and maybe hit a strip club or two or something like that. I ain't worried about all this other shit anymore. I used to care. I don't care no more. So let it keep it popping.
You're on mute, WebDave.
Hargeet, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think the original question was around, are PlayStation gamers starting to deviate towards or migrate towards towards Game Pass because of the lack of games on that side, right? Okay, and then, look, a lot of that's emotional. There's not like there's no games. There are games coming out over there. They have what is it, Lost Soul Aside. They have Phantom Blade Zero, Death Stranding 2.
I got delayed.
And Ghost of Yotai, right? Sorry, what was the other one?
Lost Soul Aside got delayed.
It's still coming this year, right? So
it's still coming this year. Yeah.
Games coming over there. And look, those are multi-plat, right? So whatever, right? They get the multi-plats as well. But look, you have to see the other side of it and say, well, gee, that Expedition 33 is really cool. I could have bought it for $50. Hey, it was just part of Game Pass. Okay. Blue, the heck was it called? Blueprints. That just came out. Also really good. Day and date Game Pass. All those Xbox games that you seem to want to buy, they're day and date Game Pass. And then you have other ones like Wu Chang is coming out. They had Adamfall and Sniper Elite. No, like this
is the past couple months. Fable, Doom,
just...
Oblivion Remastered, Blueprint, Expedition 33.
So South Midnight, like there's just tons of games that just keep coming. Right? So it's like, okay, the enthusiasm gap, as I keep calling it, the enthusiasm gap is just going to keep growing. Right? When's the last time we had a showcase from PlayStation, let alone a showcase that was good from PlayStation? That's been a while, right? And so that just it eventually wears on you. Like, well, why am I here if there's nothing here, right? So, I'm not saying anything wrong about those games, by the way, the ones that they have. I'm sure they're going to be awesome, but it is just an enthusiasm gap, right? When you hear the words Doom, you think, oh, that's a big game. They have it. Oh, that's in Game Pass. Okay. And they may not even realize that's a Microsoft game. There's like, why do they get that in Game Pass? Like, that's because they own it. And they don't even realize that, right? Because the average gamer, like I think DeMarco, you were saying, people don't know this stuff, right? Like the average gamer doesn't pay attention to any of this stuff, right?
People still don't know the difference between Bethesda Softworks and Bethesda Game Studios.
Yeah, right. So, and it's like that is not in their realm, right? But it's coming to Game Pass. They do see that, right? Hey, it's in Game Pass. Holy crap! Right. So this is the effect that keeps happening, right? Now they're gonna have bigger games that are just in Game Pass. And Call of Duty was just in Game Pass. Holy crap! They got Call of Duty in Game Pass, right? So this is what happens, right? And will that shift people? Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I don't know, right? But one of the things I hear anecdotally, right? This is just stuff that we're hearing from certain stores and stuff like that, and we got Gaming Forte, who's a GameStop manager, that people want to buy it, but they can't even buy the console. And he's selling secondhand consoles for ridiculous costs now because
can't keep them in stock.
They're willing to buy it. And they're like, well, I can't get a new one, so I'm just gonna buy it. And I think they sell it for like just close to $600 for a Series X. And that's old. That's an old console, not even a new one.
Yep.
And like, okay, this is the way it is, right? So people do want it. There's no supply. I don't know if that's going to change now, but there's no supply, and that kind of stymies what should be happening, which is people are getting enthusiastic about this platform. I can only imagine what happens after June showcase, because you're going to see a ton more, and that's all coming to Game Pass, and you're like, holy crap, right? And so it's on them to fix that. Right? Yes, they've raised the prices, but it is still the cheapest way to get in. It's $380 for Series S. If you want to get into the current gen, that's still the cheapest way to get in. And if all you care about is playing games, a lot of those same people, like DeMarco, like they don't care about the graphics. They care to play the game. That's it. They just want to play the game. right? They're not sitting there going, why did the Nintendo Switch sell 150 million? They don't care about the graphics. They care about accessing games that they want to play. That's it. That's it. It's just that simple, right? We sit there and say, well, this was 1800 instead of 2160. That's just terrible. It's like, no, they don't give a shit. They're not going to notice. They don't care, right? If it's running at 1080, that's what most of those TVs that are out there probably still have that. They don't care. So that's good enough for them. And if that's available, they'll buy it. That's why like more than half of the consoles or something like that were Series S instead of Series X, right? Because they're like, whatever, that's good enough, right? Yep. So yeah, it may still be a thing if they can get the consoles out to market and start selling them, right? And maybe this way it just works economically that they're like, hey, we still sell it at a not so drastic loss to us. And, there's still a market share for people who want to buy the lowest end to get in. So that's still a potential. It may happen. I don't know. Right. But this was always the play, was like to say, okay, we have all the content that people want. Hey, let's throw some of those as games on the other platforms and tell them, oh, the stuff that you keep saying is crap. Here it is. What do you think? And maybe they start to think, maybe it's good. Oh shit, that's actually good. Mm-hmm. Maybe I want to play those games. So maybe. Right. And I'm waiting for the further announcements on the whole stores thing, because again, if Steam ends up on Xbox,
that is a win.
Come on. It's done.
Yeah.
Well, tell me why you would not be on this platform. You get EA Play Pro, you get you just get everything.
You get Ubisoft, you got Ubisoft Plus as well too.
Ubisoft, EA Play, you got Game Pass. You can get all those PlayStation games, and you have what on the other side? I think you have EA Play available on PlayStation, right? You have their PS Plus, but is that in any way equivalent to what you have? No, it's not. So this is just kind of the realm they're going into. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. JD Gamer, people are going to stop asking themselves, is Game Pass going to be around? Question, just like they've stopped asking, is Game Pass going to be good? Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point, right? So like DeMarco, you're saying, hey, it's too good to be true, right? And at some point, is this going to go away? Especially the PC version. It's like $12 a month, including EA.
Not.
Isn't EA like $8 on its own or something like that? You get that, just part of it, $7 or whatever it is. Like it's a part of it. You're paying very little to get all this stuff, right? Game Pass questions all go away with the time and consistency with which Xbox seems to have found. We are getting so many good games so fast we can't breathe. Another $5 from JD Gamer. Thanks, JD.
We've been saying this, Hargeet. We all us as Xbox content creators have been saying this for the last about 3 years. Is that hold up? Now they had the setback with the year before last with Redfall and Starfield being in Halo being pushed back. And then so it kind of stalled because of the pandemic situation or whatever. But we said once this train starts rolling, it ain't stopping. Yeah. And Xbox is not going to stop. Well, I should say Xbox. I should say Microsoft. Microsoft is not going to stop acquiring as well. They're because of now the way that the situation is with administration and things like that is all big business corporations, this, that, blah, blah. And the third, Microsoft can go and go after. They don't have a person that like they had before that will take them to court for going after another big company. Now, I mean, they're not going to go after Activision big, but they can go after. They can go after. Yeah, let's go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
You're gonna have this person is no longer there. Just saying. Lena Khan has been
Lena Khan is no longer there. And listen, I thought that the work that she did with other things was positive. What she did with the Xbox thing was absolutely asinine. I have no idea. I understand she wanted to just go after corporations and stuff like that, want to reel them in. But now this administration that's in there, they don't give a damn about anything. They just want to see about profit, money, and chaos. So therefore, if Microsoft wants to go after a Warner Brothers, they're not going to have somebody stepping in and taking them to court for it. If they want to go after Square Enix, Nothing except maybe if the company that where they're from is out there in Japan, they want to stamp it away and want to do something. But regulators here in the United States is not going to give a damn about anything that these U.S. corporations is going to do to try to acquire anything. So Microsoft is not done. Matter of fact, I think it's going to be revved up. They may not go after anything as big as Activision, but they will acquire. So that means Game Pass is still going to be trucking on top of the other IPs that they're going to be dropping within the studios that they already own. So yeah, Game Pass, if there's anything that's safe within Xbox, is Game Pass. Game Pass is the safest bet. And so I would recommend for all the gamers out there, go ahead and start stacking up your Game Pass subscriptions, because Game Pass will go up at some point. I hate to say it, but it just looks like how just everything is going on right now. Game Pass will go up, so stack it up. Stack it up. You can get it for 3 years. Stack that shit up. Save your money now and enjoy the glory of gaming.
All right, so we gotta move on to this. I wanna play this real quick.
Weird.
So they just dropped this, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Nice.
sick.
Wow.
Yeah, that is definitely a way to do a promotion, isn't it? Yeah, that's nice. That is nice.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'll stop sharing that. Wasn't that though? Sorry, I had to
Nice.
break the mold. Yeah, exactly.
Video, so Doom is coming.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Doom's coming. We're gonna kind of flip things up a little bit. It's just getting close to the end of the show. I want to one thing I want to talk. I don't know how many people have seen this, but the Acts of Blood, that team that's making this game, and I'll play some video for you. Actually, let's start the video, and I'll bring it up while we're talking. Is a new game coming out, and they were praising the ID and Xbox. They were actually worked with them really well to make sure this is going to be coming to the Xbox, and I think it's pretty awesome looking. Let me go full screen on that and bring it up here a little more. So I don't want to play any audio, but we'll definitely. I don't know if any of y'all have seen any of this gameplay.
Yes, I
this
have.
game coming out. We'll actually fast forward just a little bit to actually get some of the fight mechanics in here. But wow, it looks really good. Now I don't know that it's necessarily coming to Game Pass. I'm hoping that it's something that they do. But wow, I mean, this game looks good. Acts of Blood. Hargeet, have you heard anything about this at all?
Nope.
Nothing.
Yeah, it does look pretty good. Looks pretty good. I don't know if was this in any of the shows. I don't know if it was in any of the shows, but
not that I'm aware.
They
of.
showed it last year at what was that? They showed it at two places. The PC. I forgot what that PC thing. It's very boring, but it was the PC event.
Oh yes.
And then they showed it. They showed a little snippet of it during not Keeley's thing, Summer Game Fest. They showed it like during like their interviews or whatever, where they go talk to people after the game.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been having my eyes on this game for a couple of years now. Yeah, this game is on the radar for me for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Have you heard anything about this, DeMarco?
No, I'm watching the gameplay now. I'm very intently staring at it, but I was just interested that for a second you had sort of in the tutorial there was the combat mechanics, and it almost looks like I don't know what type of combat this is, but it almost looked like they were going with like a hybrid Arkham style where it had like just X and A and then the X plus the A button to to do like a finisher move there, which I wish more games use that. It looks really cool visually, aesthetically. So I would check out more closely or keep a closer eye on going forward. The HUD looks a
sure.
little
And Holly
bit
made
like
the
I
comment.
feel like the HUD looks a little bit early accessy, if that makes any sense. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
terminology. Like I'm looking at the way
No,
the
you
health
make
bar
good
is on
sense on
the
that.
top
Well,
left,
it's
but
Yeah.
probably
that's
an
so
alpha
minor.
build.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah.
it definitely looks good, and it's good. It's got a good tutorial, and Holly seems pretty excited about it too. And I'm with you, Holly. I need it as well. It looks
Yeah.
really good. Looks like it's going to have some really good fight mechanics. I mean, it looks like there's probably a boss here that they're showing, and you know, you apparently you get some kind of power up type thing to where you're able to just be incredibly brutal, which actually looks really good, and a lot of different um, places to explore, and a lot of different fight mechanics. I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, no,
I know if you
it's
watch the video. Go ahead.
yeah, the playthrough
But it has a
is
skill
great.
tree and everything.
Yeah, it's got a pretty cool combat. It's not is because Sifu is a different type of beat 'em up in that sense, but this does, like he said, it has a Arkham Knight kind of style. I would say this is kind of like a hybrid between Arkham Knight and the one open world game that had that was with the Yakuza, the old game that's got it's not discontinued, but that studio is gone now. Oh my god, well I can't think of that game. That game is so dope. It tried to follow it was like the Asian version of Grand Theft Auto. Oh, well, I can't think of the name of that.
Sleeping Dogs?
Sleeping Dogs. Yes, it's like Sleeping
Yeah.
Dogs and Arkham Knight with the combat aspect of it. Yeah, because it's really dope. And I love beat 'em ups, and especially with this being as detailed, and they put a lot of love into the combat, because I've been watching the developer post stuff on Twitter X and on other places, just the enhancements of where when they first showed the game, I'm like, oh, this looks cool, and how far this game has come already, and it's still not fully done yet. I'm very stoked for this game. Yeah, this is going to be one of these games. I would love for it to definitely be in Game Pass. It for being on Xbox ID, it has that potential to be there. Doesn't mean that it would, but I would hope that this would be one of those games that would get there. It just screams something that's just fun. Get your mind off of stuff. You want to get off work, had a bad day, you want to kick some ass. Look at that dude putting feet, hands, and all to butt. Look at that. I love it. Anyway,
Yep.
looks fun, man. Yeah, I'm really stoked for this game.
Yeah, it does look good. And Ray, it is called Acts of Blood. It's a brutal hand-to-hand combat game inspired by Sleeping Dogs.
Is it a
There you go.
rogue like?
No, it's not roguelike.
know.
It's just it's a beat 'em up. I'm sure that there's difficulty levels on it.
'Cause I'm seeing the way the enemies are spawning, so it's like, all right, you get knocked out, then you go back, you get your skills, and then go back into a combat arena of some kind. But that might just be they're showing off the
And it
combat
could
here,
be
probably.
early build as well too.
Well, the guy that's playing it, I've seen this video. The guy that's playing it, he's his first time playing it. He's going through it, so of course, it's trial and error. So
yeah, for real. But it does look pretty good, I think. So I guess to kind of wrap things up tonight, because there's still a couple more topics. But let's well first we have to play. Destin has a little take, and we're gonna play that real quick, and then we're gonna go to one last topic. But I just have to. Destin's hit or miss. I like the guy. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I question his takes. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what you guys think about this real quick. Let me pull it up for you. There we go. We'll share that. Add that to the mix. And here's his take.
Xbox has no exclusives. There is no reason to buy their console. Every time I request a code for an Xbox game, I just say, just give me the PC version. They have no sort of console exclusivity, but they're done in the console market. I don't know how they come back from this. We already know they're selling fewer consoles than they were in the Xbox One generation. But I mean, that leaves Nintendo and PlayStation to duke it out, and they get to dictate. My hair's going a little crazy here. They get to dictate the overall price of consoles. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. Phil, come here for a second. What are you doing? I know there's tariffs, but Microsoft's $1 trillion company. You got to get in there and you got to be like, Satya, what are you doing? You're going to destroy our console business.
All right. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with his take there. But, whatever. Some people are sensitive to that kind of stuff. And, yeah, it is what it is. We do have a super chat. And I believe that probably some of the feed from that the game, the Axe of Blood, was stuttering for some people. And I apologize for that. But unfortunately, sometimes when you replay clips, they don't necessarily come up to frame rate. But anyway, Axe of Blood, you want to look it up for yourself.
DJ Berto, $2. WebDave, playback with the 3 FPS hashtag pants off, dance off. Okay.
That's my thing from GRG. I always say when I left the show at night, I would say everybody enjoy themselves, because it was a Friday night when we did GRG, and I would say, hey, I'm living through y'all. I'm a married man, but anyway, y'all enjoy yourselves, and if y'all find something, enjoy that pants off, dance off. So yeah, that was my thing. Good shout out to DJ Bird.
Very cool. Shout out to him there for that for sure. And of course you did mention strip clubs earlier. Just saying. But,
I did.
So the last thing we'll touch on, and we'll go around the horn. And DeMarco, we're going to start with you on this one. We are going to talk about. Let me pull it up here. So the biggest publisher on PlayStation is Microsoft, and that is undisputed by the charts.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of makes me think, my opinion, that maybe Microsoft has something going now. I mean, they seem to, a lot of people giving them shit, going third party, going to blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but who's making the money? Who's making the right decisions? I don't know. We'll have to see. What are your thoughts on this?
I've always been a huge advocate for games being accessed everywhere, and I've always been a huge I've always disagreed strongly with exclusivity. I do not like exclusivity. I think it is in some cases, like for some people, the furthest I would go is say that it's a necessary evil, but even that I don't 100% agree with. I want people to be able to play games where they want, when they want, how they want. It's why I like, for example, as we were just talking about earlier, these other platforms like Epic or Steam coming to console hardware as well. So I think Microsoft was absolutely ahead of the curve by allowing games on PC day and date. I think Microsoft is ahead of the curve by allowing games to be accessible on PlayStation storefronts. I think Sony is living in a dying past where they can only limit their games to their hardware. And even their strategy of saying, hey, we're going to release these titles a year later on PC, I think that is, well, there's still, I don't off the top of my head remember the statistics for games like Spider-Man 2 coming to PC and how well that did as far as sales go. So I don't want to speak to that out of fear of being ignorant on that. However, what I will say is I think even that strategy is dated. So Microsoft, congrats. You figured out just smart business and letting people play your games. I understand that to my understanding, the people who are concerned with this are those who are so heavily invested in Xbox that they think that their games are being devalued or that their platform is devalued because suddenly someone on PlayStation can access these same games. I would say no, it's better for you because these publishers that are able to make more in sales, the fact that they're leading on PlayStation hardware exemplifies that. So hey, something like Doom does fantastic on PlayStation, and it does fantastic on PC and on Xbox. Guess what? Whatever it decides to work on next, it's good for them, because now Microsoft has increased confidence to invest more money into that studio's next project. So ultimately, I think they've just were ahead of the curve. I've been a staunch supporter of it from the day they started allowing games on PC. I want everything else to follow suit. I want Nintendo, I want PlayStation to also look at this and go, hey, maybe it's about time we did the same.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. All right, KMEGA, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with DeMarco. It is funny that in this situation, Xbox is now being the one that's dictating the market. We have seen that Xbox has tried to follow the model for a very long time, and the sad part about it is that there are people that will listen to some content creators that will tell you that hardware sales is more important than software sales, when we all know that that's a lie. And we see that right there in front of our face. And when some of us that's been out there that's been advocating that Xbox the Xbox has set trends for a very long time, but then they constantly still get railroaded by it. Now we look at it as people that's not so much looking at Xbox from as a first platform standard, is like a DeMarco don't seem like he's an Xbox guy. He just plays on everything. When
I'm just a gamer. That's,
right. Well, no. What my point is that when you hear gamers make this point of saying, I commend this, this is what I want. Well, then now Xbox is pushing the narrative. It's not no longer PlayStation nor Nintendo, even though that from what we see right now, Nintendo and PlayStation seem to be in the driver's seat. But when you see that Xbox already, just since they've been making these moves to put these games there, and is now the number one platform, publisher. Publisher. It says something, because that doesn't seem like that's going to slow down anytime soon. Especially when you look and see what the game titles that's going to be dropping here within the next 2 to 3 years. So it is bizarre in this universe. And it seemed like in this timeline, everything in this timeline seemed bizarre, especially to me. But it's just what it is, man. Like, I mean, Xbox has seen this, and I would have to agree with a little bit of what Dustin said in that clip, is that Xbox they're moving away from it. They're saying, look, we've tried it. We've listened to it. This is the reality of what Xbox had, what Phil Spencer and his team has had to deal with. They've had to listen to so-called pro Xbox channels deceive and lie and then desert them when they listen to them. The Xbox had to also listen to a fan base of, have to listen to the media that would be quick to praise everything else, but then not praise what Xbox does. The Xbox staff had to listen to every other thing when they tried to listen to a fan base, but then we constantly see people that's on social media that's saying they're selling their Xbox. So, okay, go ahead and sell your Xbox, but you still want those Xbox games. Xbox is now in the point to where they're on demon time. They're saying, listen, we're going to do what we want to do, and you'll like it or you won't. And as we see right now from what just from that third quarter, people are already liking it. So, hey, I'm just here to game too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I got too many games. I'm investing in the Xbox too much to turn away and to be one of these fools that'll come out and say, well, I sold my Xbox with maybe 100 games in my library, and then I'm going to buy a $700 console just to get a little bit of just to get a few specs to brag. Yeah, whatever. It ain't happening. My Xbox, my Series X, my Series S is on all the time, and if not, then I'm playing some Xbox game most likely on my PC. So it is what it is. And as long as they keep continuing to giving me the value that I've been expecting from them, I'm going to continue to be with Xbox. I just think that where we at right now overall is in a time to where gaming has evolved and it has changed beyond the console. And some of us old heads have to just deal with it. It is what it is.
There you go. There you go. Hargeet, we got a couple of quick super chats and a membership chat.
Jay Reezy, $2. Why the heck does he have a framed pic of Phil?
That's
That's a good question, but hey, whatever he does, so why not? Whatever.
Creepy.
And then Soil Tech, shout out to Soil Tech. Member for 6 months. Please hit the like button.
If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you like this video.
Whoops, played it twice. Hargeet, your thoughts.
Look, so the growth is good as far as like the 45% on PC. Granted, that's a smaller percentage, right? So maybe they have a couple million there. It's grown by that. So they might have added 1 million. That's really good. So that's pretty good. The fact that they're taking over the other store, that's something we've all been seeing, right? If you just look at the top 10, like they dominate. They just dominate. The games they're putting out there are high quality enough and large enough, right? So it is what it is. That's what they're getting. So look, is this a pattern that's going to continue? Yep. Right. When they bought ABK, did you think they were going to say, hey, you know what, we're going to take a loss on this and give it to the, smaller install base of Xbox only gamers, but they have PC. Fair enough. That's true. They have Windows. So that's a fine point, but it's like, why not take advantage of everything, right? The point of those kind of games is to go everywhere as much as possible. One that's locked, for instance, is World of Warcraft. If that changes to the point where they're more PC, like that comes to a console as well. And if they could put that on other platforms, do you think they would say no to that? They're going to try to get as much value from what they have as possible. So one of the problems we have is we have this old mindset, which required this kind of exclusivity game to get their platform out there, right? So if you had to buy a Nintendo versus, there really wasn't much. It was Atari. Okay. So eventually you got Sega, and then it kind of had more competition. We had more stuff out there like the TurboGrafx and Geo and all that stuff. Each one had an isolation, right? That you had to kind of go and make the game for each one, right? Third parties could decide to put their game wherever they wanted to, but it was that much more work to go port everything everywhere. Nowadays, it's all freaking x86 code, right? It's very simple to do PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. It's not as difficult to port between them. Yes, there's work. I don't want to take that away. There's work, but it's not as crazy. So now, like, it really just comes down to what is the value gained by doing this, by locking it down. So, like DeMarco was saying, like exclusivity game, like where is the value in that, right? So if I'm making my software and I only put it on Windows versus Windows and Mac, okay, like Mac has a smaller install base, fine, but does it behoove you to do it? There's still enough people there. It's like, why not, right? Why not put it there as well? And so you look at that world and you start saying, well, why in the console world does it need to be this lockdown thing? If you're the biggest publisher of games, you're like, I want to get customers. I don't care where that customer is. And that's kind of where they are. After you spend that much money, you're not going to say these are going to be locked down. That unfortunately is a console war mentality that people have always had, right? That, I own this, therefore it must stay me. Is that really the right path? I don't know, right? You could do that. You would devalue things. Imagine Call of Duty is locked to 2 platforms. Is that a good thing for Call of Duty? I can't imagine why. Call of Duty is big because everybody plays it, and you want to continue to expand that, not make it smaller. So like, I just kind of expect that kind of thing here. If you say like Doom, the first 2 games in that trilogy came out on PlayStation. In fact, I think they're on Switch as well, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, why would you take that away from those players? That just doesn't really make sense, right? So put it out there, fine. Like, not all their games have gone over, right? They probably will over time. Is that the end of the world? No, right? It's a mindset issue, right? We just think, hey, it has to be this way. What Microsoft says instead, why don't I give you a platform that is more interesting to you if you want to buy it, right? That's a better path to go in. If you think the PlayStation's a better platform for you, go for it, right? Why not? I don't think it is. I don't see anything compelling on there. I've had one and I thought it was crap. It's still catching up to what the Xbox One was doing. They added a few new things on top of that, but it was like, okay, that's nice. I don't like, you're not really selling me on your feature set. Whereas the stuff that I got on the Series X was fantastic, right? Just having quick resume, which I had no idea was going to be good. I'm like, this is shit. Who cares, right? When you use it, you're like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Like, I hate not having it on PC, right? It is so cool to have quick resume, right? But, that's an awesome feature you have. Fair enough. That's what you do. You just make it compelling and say, this is why you should be on this ecosystem. You get all these capabilities where it like crosses over between PC and cloud and console. We give you a seamless experience. Buy it once, you have it everywhere. Cool. Those are good things to say, come over here, right?
I've been saying
but you don't have
that
to,
exact thing forever. Like, make your value of your console by what you offer people, not on the games. Like,
exactly.
For example, you say you don't like PlayStation. For me, the thing I love, it's a gimmick. I love the haptics. I love the haptics in this thing. I know Xbox is supposedly working on their own. But like, all right, I'll go out and I'll buy a PlayStation. Yep. I'll buy a PlayStation if I really want to have that feel. Like, quick resume. Exactly what I've been saying for what feels like forever. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue, please.
You're good.
Yeah. So, and this is kind of the path they're on to say, hey, we're going to expand. We want to get to that 3 billion gamers, whether that's on mobile, on cloud, on console, on PC. We don't care, right? And if it's somebody else's console, we don't care, right? We're just going to sell you stuff. So that's basically what this is showcasing. It's working. Right. The question was, what happens to your console gamer? And that is a mind shift that we all need to make. Some of us have gotten to the point of saying it doesn't matter. Some of us have not. Right. And you have to be careful with the messaging and all that to bring them along. But the big question is, okay, let's say you don't like that. Where are you going to go next? Are you going to say, I'm going to sell my Xbox and go to PlayStation? Okay. Now you're paying for the same games that you could have in your Game Pass. But if that's what you want, like, hey, DeMarco, you want to buy the game? Fine. If that's your path, absolutely go for it. The other alternative is you could shift to PC. You still get Game Pass at a cheaper rate, and you still get all the games. So maybe that's a path you want to go down. Fair enough. And now you get your PlayStation games, you get your Xbox games, you get your Nintendo games. But so it is what it is, right? So you have potentially one platform that does everything. That's a viable path too. It's up to you. And they're making it so it's more open. There's more choice. That's a good thing. I want to see it go expand even further, where I can have an Xbox experience on a partner device. And that device can be as powerful as I like it to be, right? So I don't have to be locked down to what they had at a spec. I don't care, because games, they have the ability to change performance metrics, right? But on freaking console, they lock the stupid game. Why? But that's what they do, right? So you will play at 30 because we said so. But if I go to the PC with the same game, I can unlock it to do whatever I want. I can make it go at 120 if I want, right? Why? Why is that? So that would be the thing that I would like to see, is just give me the ability to do whatever I want on whatever device. I can buy at whatever power level and just have that nice, easy experience of the console. That would be fantastic. We'll see if they manage to do that or not. And that's kind of a world that's much better, right? But where PlayStation and Nintendo fit into all that, I don't know. We will see in 10 years, right? As we age out with our mindset of all this stuff, like, I think that's going to become very problematic. I don't think future generations think of it the same way. They just want to play what they want, when they want, where they want. That's kind of their thing, right? If they're on a freaking tablet that they have with them, an iPad is just sitting in the car or something like that, they just want to play the game. Can I play the game? Cool. They're not interested in, I have to have a PlayStation to play this or a Nintendo to play this. They just want to play the game. But those two are going to be stuck in it. PlayStation and Nintendo PlayStation partially has moved over. They have gone to PC, right? Now they don't have exclusive either. Their games are on PC as well, right? But whatever, they still have it timed exclusive. Nintendo is the one that's holding out. And by the way, that's the one that really annoys me, right? Maybe they'll get to a level of quality where they're at 60 frames for a lot of games. I don't know that's going to happen. We'll see, right? But playing Zelda looking the way it does versus like that remake that somebody made of Ocarina of Time in UE5 or UE4, which looks breathtakingly really better.
Yeah.
Right? It's so much better. And you're like, why can't Zelda be that? Why can't the next Zelda be that? Right? And it's because they've locked themselves to the stupid hardware. And I was like, dude, if you could just put that on anything and just give me the game, right? And it could look like, why not? Like, I would love to see. That's one dude made that, right? Like, why can't they do that? So this is kind of the negative of this whole lockdown stupidity, right? You have to, partake on their platform, which just is annoying. And then that's why you get emulation, and it's much better. But anyways, you still don't get that quality level though, right? You can still play Tears of the Kingdom emulated, but you can't actually get that level of fidelity that you would get if you just did this in a different engine and allowed it to be run on systems that could actually handle it. Unfortunately, that's kind of where that is. But this is good stuff. Game Pass is still continuing to grow where it's going to grow, which is on PC. If mobile happens, that could likely be another vector, right? So we could see some Game Pass in mobile thing
That'll be
the
massive.
next year or two, right?
Mhm.
So if that happens, that could be another avenue of growth for them. Fantastic. Like I see this as a good thing. The only question is like, will they get to some growth marker that allows them to keep the price down? Or will they stay kind of at this level and therefore have to increase the price, right? So we will have to see where that ends up, right? The more subscribers you have, the more you can keep the price kind of lower, and you get more broad-based income from more people. That's good, right? So we don't have to pay more, but if it doesn't really grow that much, then you're going to increase prices, right? So, but hey, overall, these numbers are good. Sad that means they're also increasing the hardware cost, but hey, whatever. Business is business, I suppose.
There you go.
I just want to read
Exactly.
something. I just want to read a couple of games here for a second, just to let people understand what value is and why Microsoft is in this position, why Microsoft Xbox is in this position right now. When you go ahead and you pay that $15, $18, right? You can play games that's coming: Revenge of the Savage Planet, Doom of the Dark Ages, Altars, Haunt, Doom Spice Wars, Planet of Lana, Jurassic Park Evolution 2, Smite 2, Blue Planet, Towerborn, Clean, Crime Scene Cleaner, Call of Duty, both Call of Duties, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and plus Call of Duty 6. You got the finals, Far Cry 4, you got Nakara, you got Oblivion Remaster, you got Anno 1800, Mullet Mad Jack, you got Grand Theft Auto 5, you have Temporo, I guess how you pronounce that, Expedition 33, Mythwrecked, South of Midnight, Commander's Origin, Diablo 3, plus also the latest Diablo, Blizzard Arcade Collection, Atomfall. Hell, you got kid games, Patrick Star game, you got NHL 25, you got Immortals 30, you got 33 Immortals, you have a mobile game, Assault Legends Unite, College Football 25, Call of Duty Warzone, Ultimate Edition Borderlands 3, the Plague's Tale Requiem, A Way Out. Like, bro, I could keep going. That's what's
it's just
that's value on top of value on top of
And there's
value.
over 500 games. Over 500
Is
games.
it 500 now? I knew it was 400.
Right,
it's
over 500.
500. I mean, it doesn't
Counted them
get
up.
better. The competition has nothing like this. Like this, hell, even when we were younger, Webb and Hargeet, when we went to Blockbuster Video or our local video store or Hollywood Video to rent a game, we didn't have this much variety. Hell, we was just hoping that we would see somebody drop off one of those latest games that we were anticipating to want to rent.
Yeah, there's a question of how many copies they had, right?
How
Of the game
many
you wanted.
copies?
Like, do they even have it?
Nothing. Redbox, nothing is on this level of this, and so that's why I'm saying, like, if the more and more people, as DeMarco was bringing up earlier, was saying that the casual gamers do not give a damn about this or that or the third, and I think you also allude to it too, Hargeet. The casual market just don't give a damn about graphics or any of that cute shit, sales, nothing. They just want to see what can I get for what I paid for. And when they finally recognize Game Pass for what it is the ultimate. This is the ultimate, like, oh my God, I feel like I'm hustling these companies. It's the same reason why these people that keeps trying to say that subscription services is not viable, and they keep waiting for the death of Netflix and things of that nature, and Netflix just keeps getting better and stronger year after year. even if they have a slowdown at some point, they pop back up that the next year or two after and become more dominant. This is now what this is. This is the Netflix of gaming. It's not going anywhere. This is going to be the standard, and more companies is going to start trying to implement this strategy if they can. This is going to hurt in the future when the consoles become less relevant and exclusivity becomes less relevant. It's going to hurt Nintendo and PlayStation going forward. It just is what it is. These are the facts.
Exactly. All right, we got a couple of well, I'm gonna actually
one
do
first,
this
right?
in a different order. No, let me do it
Okay.
different order because we'll end it with the last one.
Hey, KY Bob,
So,
member for 2 months, renewal.
welcome, KY Bob.
All right, $5 from KY. What's up, fellas? Walled off ecosystems for gamers is stupid. I can't wait to give Xbox and Asus my dollars for their collaboration on the new ROG Ally. Yeah, or whatever they call that new device. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what that looks like. Hopefully soon.
Exactly.
Then Sir Rifsalot renews. Did you want to go for it? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No. You read.
Okay, yeah. So Rifsalot
Remember for
renews
4
membership
months.
for 4 months. Thank you.
And then this last one,
is
we're
a
going
super
to tie
chat.
this in.
$2. Shout out to WebDave. Can't wait for June show. TTS.
That's right. So as we kind of wrap things up, Hargett, let you touch on this one more time, and then we're going around and get everybody's outros.
Yeah, so we are doing since Xbox isn't doing their FanFest, a group viewing of the June showcase, we're putting together one at the community level. So if you want to join us in LA, you'll have to enter for a raffle. And here's the website, and I'll throw it into the chat again, just for everyone. Go ahead and enter. And if you, are selected, you can come out and watch the June showcase with us, and we will have some activities, FanFest type activities after the showcase as well. So go ahead and join in.
Exactly. Gonna be awesome. And as you can see, there's Holly, that beautiful, the blue number. I said that blue number. I love it. And so many great content creators: Kay Asante, Hargeet, Mr. Boomstick. Just so many more. There's even Jason Ronalds. There's Luke Lore. There's just so many people that are there. And there's Colt Eastwood. Korkenstein is there with us. So it's awesome, man. So many great members. Lord Cognito in this picture. And of course, there was more people actually there than just in this picture, but it's just all the ones that were put up on the site. That was awesome. And of course, hopefully a lot of us will be there. Of course, Paris said he's going to be making an appearance at this as well. Looking forward to running into Paris there as well. It's going to be awesome. And of course, get to hang out with my buddy Hargeet, who is actually the pillar of this show, and we definitely appreciate everything that he does, and I do mean that sincerely. So let's go around the horn real quick, and going to get everybody's outros. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you can. Hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and we're on the road to 4K. We are like 3,200 and plus right now. So we got 800 more to get to 4K. Look here, Epic Treasure has jumped into the chat too. Epic, so good to see you. And she's doing some amazing videos as well. She even does a really good reading, right, Hargeet, of Bram Stoker's book. Yeah. Bram Stoker. Yeah. Anyway, we love you, Epic. We're hopefully going to have you back on soon. I'd love to have you and Holly on together. That would be awesome. That would be cool. We might have to do that. All right. So so we'll start with KMEGA. Kay, please tell everybody where they can reach out to, where they can find you, and all the kind of stuff that you're doing nowadays.
Yeah, man, really do appreciate the invite, man. Good to work with you for the very first time, DamarcoDude. Hargeet, the legend, you know what I'm saying, the secret ingredient to all these podcasts out here, hopping in, man. Really do appreciate it. Working with you guys. Man, just follow me on my channel, man. If you so want to, KMEGA 405 on YouTube. I also have a Twitch channel by the same name, and also on TikTok. I've been saying that I'm going to get ready to start doing Fight Night again. It's been a few months since I've done it. Been a lot of stuff going on, but I got to get it popping, and it sucks because I love sports, and I'm watching a hell of a lot of my Thunder right now, the OKC Thunder, and then just the NBA playoffs, and so I'm kind of been lost into that. But I got to get back and doing some fighting. So you know what I'm saying, publicly, of course. So yeah, we'll be getting to doing that. Also on Twitter X at KMEGA4 if you want to come check me out. I like to talk a lot of trash, like to make some of these stands mad. I don't care. It's just what I do. So anyway, thank you guys so much, man. Everybody have a blessed Sunday, and man, just keep it rolling, man. Congratulations, and get this man to 4,000, man, so we can get more great content for them. And shout out to the community FanFest thing that you guys are going to be doing, man. That is beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful stuff.
Exactly. Agree. And again, KMEGA, thank you so much for being on. We do, and I mean this with all my heart, man. We definitely appreciate every time you come on. We love your opinions, love your takes.
Thank you.
And hopefully you'll be back to see us again in the future because, like I said, with the shows and stuff that you've done over the years, it definitely has built this community. And we build any show that we have on what you've laid before us. So thank you so much for everything you've done.
Appreciate
and
it.
Continue to
Appreciate
do.
it.
So, all right, to everybody, do with you, man. DeMarco, what is up, buddy? Please tell everybody where they can find you. Where you have to put up with Holly because she's so difficult. I'm just kidding. And of course, I'm just kidding, Holly. We love you. And of course, Red Wolf. And you have another panel member as well, which I just recently I'm gonna try and see if I can get him on sometime too. He didn't come on camera much. Well, I don't know why that is, but DeMarco, please tell everybody where they can find you.
We're still fighting though. It's a losing battle. We're still fighting. Yeah, you can check me out, DamarcoDude on YouTube and Twitter. If you like any of the takes I've given here today, I'd love to have you over there. I focus mostly on RPG related content. So not so much in the Xbox specific space, but of course, Xbox, when they make great games, I'll be talking about them, right? Because that's what I care about first and foremost. So there you go. Especially looking forward to Doom the Dark Age. I can't wait for Doom. But
oh yeah,
check me out there. Thank you for having me on the show. WEBDAVE HARGEET is a pleasure. I always appreciate both your takes. It's wonderful. And Kay, yours as well. And your community, I will say, is absolutely awesome. Everybody here watching, you guys are great. I love to see the engagement. Like that's always a big thing for me whenever I'm thinking about what video I'm making. It's always about like who's getting involved, who's sitting, who's watching, who do I get to talk to and get to meet and all this stuff. So whether it's Xbox Fan Fest that you guys are putting together, which is absolutely phenomenal, or it's just all the chats and everything coming in. You have an awesome community, well earned, well deserved. And thank you for having me on tonight. This was a really great show to be a part of.
Well, thank you for being here, man. And it's like I said, you do a fantastic job on the show, and I'm really glad that we were able to get it to where you could work it out. And like I said, I do definitely want to talk to you in the future about doing it one-on-one, like I've done with these other fine gentlemen that are on the panel right now. So we'd love to have you on doing it one-on-one. We'll talk about that in the future. I'll reach out to you on that one. But heck yeah, Hargeet. Oh man, we were just like less than 5 weeks away from the big show, plus all the other stuff that you got going on, and the amazing podcast that you are on, like with Funds and C Money and Doodle, and oh my gosh, so much more. So please tell everybody where they can reach out to you, where they can find you on Discord.
Yeah, Discord, HChani. If you want to subscribe to my channel, Hargeet Chani 1 on YouTube, you can pick up my book if you like, shop.chani.us. And then I'll be on with Boom on Wednesday on Double Barrel Gaming, 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Check that out, Primetime Gaming. And then with C Money and Doodle on Friday at 8-ish p.m. On Point for Gamers. And then back with Fonz on Saturday, 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern. However, this weekend, and WebDave, this might be for this show as well, I may not be available for next weekend because it's PAX East. So I will be at PAX East.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I'm going to make either one of those. We'll see. It's probably not likely, but I might be able to make this one, but at least Saturday is going to be tough to do. So we'll see. But I'll be at PAX East this coming weekend. But normally it would be on Sunday, and we'll be doing Fonz's show. But Fonz is also not available on Saturday, so we're skipping the show altogether on Saturday. But we'll be back the following week. So yeah, check those out.
There you go.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I just quickly say, like, Tuesday,
and DeMarco and KMEGA, thanks for joining. It was great having you on.
I just want to make sure that Tuesdays, for those who are interested, Renegade Realm podcast on Red Wolf Renegade's channel. There's that blue number, Red Wolf Renegade and Assassin. All great folks. We do that every Tuesday live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. If you're looking for more podcast content and more live shows, that one can get off the cuff sometimes, but it's a great show.
Exactly. And the thing about it too is that like on this show, a lot of people will watch later, so reviews or reviews later, that's on demand. So it's great. And we do also have the audio version, which goes up on iTunes, Spotify, goes up on we're on oh my gosh, again, iHeartRadio, a whole bunch of them. We're everywhere with our show. And as soon as this show is over, I will actually upload it so that it'll go to all those. So if you just listen to the audio only, all the links and all the descriptions will be below for everybody. So yeah, that's oh look, Red Wolf, Red Wolf is there. Look at that, he's sneaking in at the end, being all quiet and everything. It's all right. It's all right.
He just wanted to make sure. He was making sure that he was seeing. He's like, DeMarco doesn't say anything. And he's off the panel.
No, never. You guys have great chemistry on that show, which is awesome. So yeah. So again, thanks to my panel. Thanks for everybody being here. Of course, you want to stick around. We're going to send you to somebody different tonight. It'll be a mystery if you want to stick around. It's another gaming person in the community. We'll let you see who that is if you want to stick around in the chat afterwards, and we'll send you that way. But again, thanks to everybody for joining us here tonight. We appreciate you very much. If you don't mind, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Definitely good. Hargeet, got anything else you want to say? You're ready to hit the road.
Hopefully Marathon doesn't end up like this.
Oh my God.
Leaving on that parting note.
Shout out to Spartan661. Appreciate you, man, for subscribing to the channel, man. Thank you so much. Oh man, come on, man, Hargeet. Don't hurt him like that. Let him live. Let him have a little life. Let him have a little life.
I'm hoping it turns it around, but right now the trajectory is not looking good for that game. It just isn't.
Yeah. And
so it's sad. But that's my parting note.
Yeah, and what does King always say?
Let them know you guys are in my DM. King, what will we do? We will hold the line.
Oh,
If you like this video, please hit the like button.
Thanks for joining us tonight on the Gamers Council.